HD2 Laverne. Online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. It's Robby and Rexrode with Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
And welcome into the Thursday edition of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezovic here with you on this rainy, nasty Thursday morning out there. Joe Rexrode, it was nice yesterday. It all of a sudden got very cold and very rainy very quickly.
It's a much more beautiful day because there's no coffee concern. So
well, there is that.
That's how I look at it.
Me too, Joe.
There we go.
I'm glad you two are going to be okay today.
Oh, by the way,
I was worried yesterday.
Yes, I know. And yeah. By the way, you're going to get Venmo today. Michelle, by the way, got this on for you, buddy?
Vibing.
There you go. Yeah.
Joe is vibing with the coffee
Robby,
this morning.
Robbie's skull here.
He's pointing to his
see.
computer, and he's not on the computer live stream. We're on the
Joe, we're on the GoPro. Stand up and show us.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see it.
There it is. What a beautiful face. Beautiful
Isn't it, though?
face.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Joe's or yours?
Oh, it's mine.
By the way, this looks like this could be a character in Braveheart, actually. One of the lords of Scotland.
Well, I mean, we could have something here. Maybe a sequel. I don't know if there could be a Braveheart 2, but maybe so. Different cast.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be a prequel
Yeah,
because of the
probably
way it
would.
ended. I don't want to ruin it for, like, Michelle or others who haven't seen it, but you probably couldn't really
It'd be
do
necessary to be a prequel.
But, you know, Vrabel could be like William Wallace's, like, long-lost cousin or something.
could be.
You know?
I could see the resemblance.
What movie posters can we have Dennis do today?
That's what we're going to have to figure out here. Some thrilling college basketball action last night, Joe Rexrode. Nice 37 spot put up by the Vanderbilt men's basketball team last night. That's hard to do.
Yeah, that was, man, that was not pretty. VCU did a great job, does what VCU does, but I don't know that I can recall Pippen being harassed that successfully in a game. He was 2 for 10, 5 turnovers, 2 assists, 8 points. Vanderbilt, 2 of, 25 from 3. But just nasty. Yeah, and it was 23-22 at the half. You're like, well, it's an ugly half, and you know they're right in there, playing poorly, but they're right there. And then, man, they got pushed around in the second half. So that let me do the math: 15 points. 15 points.
It's not good.
In the second half. It's not good. On the more positive front, Lipscomb goes to Dayton and throttles Dayton. Asadula is a hell of a player, 21-8. So watch out for the Bisons.
That's correct. Watch out for the Bisons. Yeah, you know, it's hard to shoot that bad if you're Vanderbilt. I think you could go out there and try to shoot that bad again, and I'm not sure you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, and they definitely had some open looks that they missed for sure, but it was also like they were really just they were just pushed around. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. Like, it seemed like VCU had 7 defenders, you know, trapping them all over the floor, just taking, you know, they were doubling Pippen hard off ball screens, but even just trying to take him out of the game. But, you know, Vanderbilt's got to respond better. Jordan Wright played pretty well. He had like 15, and he's going to be a good 2 to Pippen this year. They need to find more people and more help, and this is the first time where you look at them and say, man, if they don't get those guys back who are hurt, I don't know what they're going to be this year.
Let's go to our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Got a texter that says, just be happy y'all work inside. We work outside, and it's like the Postal Service. Rain, sleet, or snow, it don't matter. I do not envy you today.
What's the job?
I don't know. He's just outside.
Yeah.
I got another texter that says, Jared said y'all had no energy yesterday with 2 crying, laughing emoji faces.
We had no coffee.
What? Who is y'all? I had plenty of energy yesterday.
Jared seems to be very obsessed with this show.
He
like,
does.
does this show wake him up right? Like, is he right now in bed, curled up, listening to every word?
Could be.
Taking notes.
Good morning,
of
Jared.
things he'll say later on his show.
Could be.
With his theme song from a softcore porn movie. Like he
Have
told
he confirmed that that's what that's from?
No, he told me that yesterday. Like he was all proud of it. Like, he's like, yeah, okay, boomer, making fun of Hall & Oates, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your song is terrible. And he's like, oh, it's from 50 Shades of Grey, boomer. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Why'd you admit that,
Your
Jared?
theme song is from like a sex movie? What?
Strange.
And first of all, I got to know, like, as I hear that song, and then they bring in like the horns, dun, 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 dun. Like, what scene of that movie is that song playing in? I honestly don't ever intend to watch that movie, but I'm trying to imagine, like, is this like someone unbuttoning something while the
I don't know.
They got to change it. I mean, Caroline, I think, was somewhat mortified to find this out yesterday, and I'm like, Caroline, you gotta change some things.
Some executive power.
Let's
coming
get
in
Caroline's name on the show. Let's get the weird softcore porn theme song off the show. Let's see if we can fix Jared's opinions a little bit. There's a lot of work to do.
See if we can't get to work on that as we go throughout the rest of the week here. The injury report yesterday coming out for the Titans. And, Joe, my first reaction to it, wow, it's kind of, for their standards, kind of a short one on the injury report when all things considered based on what we've seen this year. The original injury report said Bud Dupree, knee, DNP. And I was like, how about that? Number one, there's one mute for Joe Rexrode today.
All right.
I said, how about that? The abdomen, not even on the injury report. So I guess you're just in the free and clear there. And then I guess they forgot to switch that over, and it is an abdomen. So Bud Dupree not practicing yesterday because of the abdomen injury.
Yeah, sort of, I mean, obviously it's been knee all year, knee, all year, so they didn't change it. Like, kind of a guy of major interest, so it's like, yeah, as soon as you see that, you're like, oh, wow. So the abdomen was just like a little, I don't know, like had a tummy ache, like no, that's good. So he's back to fine. But, yes, it is abdomen, but still the fact that look, if it was even something somewhat longer term, right, he'd be on IR, not on IR. So it's way better than it could have been for sure, and that I thought it might be. So that's good. I mean, ultimately, it's good news, for the Titans. They're gonna have him back, and they need him. They're gonna need him big time.
Nate Davis on the report with the concussion, did not practice. Chris Jackson with a foot injury. David Long Jr. still no practice with the hamstring, and then Jeremy McNichols as well with a concussion. So those were your players that did not practice yesterday for the Titans. Rashawn Evans, Harold Landry, Greg Maben, Kyle Pecco, Jeffrey Simmons, and Tierre Tart all limited. So all things considered, not a bad injury report, I guess, for the Titans, based on some of the other ones we've seen that have been about 22 deep this year.
Yeah, it's shorter, and probably not great that David Long's still on the DNP, but, I mean, if you got Evans coming back, then you'd have some more depth there at linebacker. I think the Nate Davis concussion thing is curious to me.
Yeah.
Does this mean that he had something new in this game, or is this still from – I mean, he cleared protocol last week. Obviously, he played. So I'm assuming this is new.
Yeah.
And if that's the case,
not good.
Yeah, that's not something you want to be stacking here. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on this week.
Yep. And, obviously you look at the defensive side. Anytime you see Jeffrey Simmons on the injury report, you're like, oh, boy. But I think he's going to be okay. It's the ankle that's been on there for a couple weeks, and no reason for Jeffrey Simmons really to be running around in practice on Wednesday. He was a limited participant, but anyway. I'm not too worried about Jeffrey Simmons and his availability coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, usually if you see limiteds on Wednesday, usually those guys are probably going to be okay to play, which would mean they could get Tierre Tart back. Yeah, I mean, Simmons I think will probably be on there a lot, but he plays and plays at a high level. Landry has been on there a lot too, with a hamstring, but it has not stopped him from playing. If you get Evans back, that would be, like I said, for depth, that would be key. And then we still don't know, the deal with Roberson this week.
Interested to see, if Chris Jackson's able to play this week. I know you didn't practice yesterday because of the foot. If he's able to play, how much is he out? I mean, he was out there a pretty significant amount this past week. Did not go well. With Christian Fulton getting healthier and getting his feet back underneath him. Obviously, you still have Jack Rabbit Jenkins, Elijah Molden in the slot. I'm interested if Chris Jackson can play, how much he'll be out there this week against Houston.
Yeah, I would think to some extent if he can. I mean, I think if he can't go, that's the three that they would roll with, and they'd feel fine with them. Greg Maben also is back up to limited, so he could be in the mix. But Chris Jackson, you can't have You can't have two extremes, much more extreme than what he has the last 2 weeks. How good it was against LA, and then how bad against the Saints. But they're going to need him for sure, and he's been on there too, like pretty consistently the last few weeks with the foot. So he's obviously been dealing with it.
Ron on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Good morning, guys. I know we need to stress the Titans need to win this Sunday against the Texans. But honestly, why would the Texans want to win? The way that organization has operated the past few years with coaching, players leaving, and now with Deshaun Watson, why would they want to win? I think they want to go for the first pick in the draft and to start over fresh.
Well, coaches and players don't care about that crap.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say coaches don't, but I mean, if you're a coach trying to prove yourself in this league, yeah, you're trying to win. You got to win. Players, players want to win. The players couldn't care less about the first pick. So, think about the movie Major League.
Yep.
Ownership wanted them to totally bottom out so they could move to Florida, and the players said to hell with that and
gonna go win the whole thing.
They had the owner and the Stillman theme song would have worked well when they took the stuff off the owners. Little cutout there in the locker room. Michelle, do you get that reference at all? Michelle's not even listening to us. Oh, she's on the phone with somebody. Dang it. I always like asking about movie. We'll remember that. We have to ask her if she's seen the movie Major League.
There's no way.
No, they don't. These guys want to win. David Culley wants to win. I mean, he's trying to prove that he's finally got this opportunity, and it's just terrible luck for him. I'm looking at their injury report. I see Deshaun Watson, not injury related, did not practice.
Yeah.
He's taking over a bad situation, but it would be big for him to get a win here. And it's I just never I think tanking. I've definitely seen something that looks like tanking in the NBA. Okay?
Oh yeah.
But in this league, I've never detected it. People talk about it, but you see these absolutely playing out the string, dead teams all the time come up on a random Sunday and beat someone who's good and playing for something.
Well, players are not going to tank. If you try to tank
no.
in this league, you're going to get yourself killed.
Well, exactly.
So that's not going to happen. Now,
so fans and ownership, they might be fine with L's,
right.
But yeah.
Joe from Maryland on the text line. Do you guys think that the turf at Nissan Stadium is the reason for the injuries? Didn't the Saints think that the turf was a problem?
Well, again, it's grass. So, I mean, the interesting thing about that question is, like Lawan was talking about how the field turf at Indy made him sore the next week. And You hear more complaints about field turf as a cause of injuries. I mean, this is natural grass. So, I mean, you got to have the right footwear, but it's grass. I'd prefer all of the games to be played on this. Yes. I wish it was all on grass. You're still going to get hurt on grass. There's no surface that's injury repellent, but I'd take this over anything artificial.
Joe from Maryland saying the Colts tanked for luck. Well, Peyton Manning was hurt.
I mean, they bottomed out.
They bottomed out.
They didn't have a quarterback. Did they tank? Did they go out and was the I don't know. I mean,
beat Titans that year.
Maybe did they? Yeah, I mean, look, maybe there's a particular Sunday where it's like clearly. If an NFL team is tanking, it's from the front office and coaching perspective of taking players off the field.
Yeah.
I don't buy for a second that 48 players active on a Sunday are actively trying to lose a game ever in this league. Don't buy it.
We're off and running today on Robby and Rexrode, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. When we come back, Joe's colleagues at The Athletic put out an interesting story yesterday having to do with some power rankings in the NFL and which player the Titans could steal in the NFL right now if they could pick. We'll get to that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
That's the way to win. Took everybody, we found a way to win. Let's go. Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3. Titans.
The Red Hot Titans sit atop the AFC with an 8-2 record.
It is pretty incredible that they just continue to find ways to win.
Your home of the best Titans coverage
This is how the Titans are going to have to win games.
is Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Mississippi is the perfect place to find yourself while getting lost in everything nature has to offer. Start planning your trip today at visitmississippi.org/goodtimes. Mississippi. Good times are close by.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Fall is here, and that means the cold winds of winter are coming. It's a great time to replace those old, drafty windows. Pella is the leader in the industry for top-quality window and door products. But Pella Windows and Doors are also affordable, extremely affordable. Pella has payment plans less than $95 a month to replace your windows. So, I suggest you purchase your windows and doors from the experts at Pella of Nashville. Go to PellaofNashville.com.
Bank of England Mortgage has been helping Americans live the dream of homeownership for over 100 years. Since their humble beginnings in England, Arkansas in 1898, they've grown into a nationwide mortgage lender with 141 offices across 45 states, including 3 convenient locations right here in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at BOE1214.com. Bank of England Mortgage is a division of Bank of England Mortgage. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS 418-481.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Since being the first to make wiper blades over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in any weather. We're always looking ahead, studying your specific driving conditions so you'll be ready for anything. Like, if it actually rains cats and dogs, you can handle every soggy Siamese and drenched Doberman. Your Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact for safe, clear driving visibility, whatever the weather. Trico, the future of wipers since 1917. Visit TricoCatsAndDogs.com.
If you've missed any of today's show, just search Robby and Rexrode on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube today and every day. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Robby and Rexrode brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, conveniently serving Middle Tennessee with 13 locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Joe Rexrode, our friend of the show, Dan Orlovsky, has come out with a tweet this morning that I think is good for all of us. It's deep. It says, quote, "The line between failure and success is so fine, we're often standing on the line and not knowing it. Not in the crowded streets, but inside you is triumph or defeat." This is coming from our friend Dan Orlovsky. Your reaction?
Okay, I thought he was going to make a joke about standing on the end of the end zone line.
No. Well,
that's very deep. Good. That's good stuff. I need to read that. I need to read that for myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just look up Dan Orlovsky.
Okay.
I love that to start our morning, guys.
Friend of the show.
I like that. I like Jay Billis' rap lyrics in the morning a little bit better than that.
Yes.
But okay, we're often standing in the line not knowing it. Huh. Not in the crowded streets.
Was
but
me
inside
reading it
views.
not good enough for you? You just got to go back and find it?
It's just I'm trying to make it soak into the brain.
All right.
I mean, it rhymes, too. Not in the crowded streets, but inside you is trying for defeat.
That's right. Maybe it is rap lyrics.
Interesting. Okay.
Joe, your colleagues at The Athletic, Lindsey Jones and Josh Kendall, coming out with a power ranking list for the NFL, but not just any power ranking list, a power ranking list of where teams stand right now, and if they could steal one player to fit one of their needs, who would that player be? For instance, they have the Green Bay Packers as the number one team in the NFL, and if they could steal a player, it would be Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. And that hurts me because I was really hoping last year that they would draft Justin Jefferson, and then Minnesota got up and stole him. So it'd be pretty nice to have him. Obviously, Derrick Henry is on IR, so he is not eligible in this list for other teams to steal. They have the Titans as the number 2 team in the NFL right now, and if you could steal a player, I don't know if this is going to surprise most people, they say Jonathan Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts. So any player in the league, if the Titans could steal right now, it would be Jonathan Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts. Do you buy that? That would be the player that you would pick if you could pick any player in the league?
Well, yeah, I get it. I understand the sentiment there, and you could make a case for a few other backs, but certainly he fits. I mean, his style of running, I think would fit in well. He's been great. I mean, I think he's becoming a great player. I think you can make the case right now. You can make the case that he's the number 2 back in the NFL behind Derrick Henry. I mean, he's
sure.
in that. I mean, I could put Nick Chubb in there. I know the Chubb truthers are like, you bet you should steal him anyway. You steal him anyway, and then make Derrick Henry your fullback. From the Chubb truthers, but yeah, there's a few other backs that you could go. But here's the only thing is, if you feel good about getting Derrick Henry back, and you could steal anyone, maybe you'd think about something else.
Yeah. Like what position would you be?
Well, I mean, could you steal like Jalen Ramsey?
Hey,
I mean, add another big-time elite corner. I mean, shoot, the Titans are great with their front four, but I mean, if you can steal any player, how about Aaron Donald? I mean, can you just?
He's number 3 on the list of the Cowboys.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you can steal any player, wouldn't you steal like just the greatest possible player you could get? I mean, that guy would. I mean, just imagine the depth. Now you can absorb injury, and I'm assuming as they do this exercise, we're not taking salary cap into account, right?
I don't think so. I think it's just position of need is what they're mainly going for here, but not in every case. Sometimes it's players you could have drafted or players you pursued in free agency that you didn't quite get. So different sets of criteria for their selections. The top 5 selections here: the Green Bay Packers at 1, Justin Jefferson; the Titans at 2. They say Jonathan Taylor would be the player to steal. The Cowboys at 3, Aaron Donald. The Cardinals at 4, Vita Vea, the nose tackle from the Bucs. And then at number 5, the Bills, and they say Nick Chubb. You imagine Nick Chubb on the Bills? Like if the Bills could actually run the ball, that'd be something.
Yeah, that would be scary. You could go out there and get, of course, you could also make the case, hey, how about, a DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
I mean, how about you can make the case for an offensive lineman, too, for the Titans. Now, what about a Stephon Diggs? I mean, some kind of just another receiver threat to just make – what about, when you go on the pass rush, how about T.J. Watt to pair him with Bud Dupree? Reunite T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree. How about that?
What's amazing about this list is like the first quarterback doesn't pop up until number 12, and that's with the Saints, and they say steal Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. Then you've got I think Mahomes is the next one to the Browns. So they say, see you later, Baker Mayfield. We'll take Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, if I'm a Browns fan, I'm thinking about that team when healthy, and then put Mahomes in there. Yeah, I might like that. I noticed that did you see who the Jags would be stealing? I mean, that's the funny thing is like these terrible teams. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
But little Kevin Byard for the Jags. Titans fans
can
probably
intercept
don't
the ball
like the sound of that.
Hand it right back to Trevor Lawrence, man.
That's right. That's an interesting idea. But, yeah, I mean, I think I might – how about the Lions, Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. They'd probably win a couple games.
I guess.
Or would Lamar Jackson be just totally lionized at that point?
Everyone is a threat to be lionized. He's not immune. No one's immune.
Let's go to our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Officer Watson from Clarksville says George Kittle, the player he would steal. Not a bad idea there. Slick saying get Jonnu Smith back. Ron says give me Kelsey. And Devin from Dover says TJ Watt. So 3 votes for a tight end and 1 vote for another edge rusher.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, like a Kittle. Imagine that. You know, I mean,
sorry, Anthony Firster.
Yeah,
we'll take George Kittle.
Jeff Swaim, you're doing a nice job.
George Kittle's a Nashville guy.
Michael Pruitt, all done fine. But yes, George Kittle is the new starting tight end. Boy, was that a reminder of how good he is on Monday?
Yeah. It's an interesting list. Pretty much, we talked earlier this week about respect or disrespect for the Titans. Pretty much every power ranking I've seen this week has the Titans at either number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
Most of them.
So, and again.
And most all of them are also Green Bay number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
Like those are your top 2 pretty clearly.
And it is interesting because they are absolutely weaker than when they were ranking like 12th and 14th and whatever, But that's what happens when you win all these games in a row, and it's like you beat 5 playoff teams in a row, and you're going to finally get some respect. But they are as constructed weaker than they were when they were ranking much lower.
Liam texting in says Josh Allen knocks the Bills out of the playoffs. I think he's talking Jacksonville Josh Allen, getting him in there for the Titans and just letting him single-handedly wreck the game like he did for the Jags. What do you think of that?
I mean, I don't
think for that matchup.
I don't think you can have too many people who can chase quarterbacks. So, but just seriously, like, imagine Jeff Simmons and Aaron Donald next to each other. I mean, I think I might go there. Yeah, I think I might just go with like the Hall of Famer in his prime.
It's pretty interesting to think about. I like this exercise that your coworkers have done at The Athletic. This is an interesting way to spice up power rankings. So apparently, power rankings are the most important thing in the NFL now. Everybody loves some power rankings. I still, in my mentions, have Cowboys fans yelling at me for having them 3 and Green Bay 2. I'm like, okay.
It's so weird.
You're the number 3 team in the league. What do you want me to do?
Cowboys fans are everywhere and pretty much annoying everywhere.
Yeah. Sorry, Chase.
And I say that with love to my brother-in-law, who grew up in New York and loves the Cowboys. Huh?
Because you can't like
New
York
I was about
team.
to say, come on.
What's that?
I was about to say, come on. He gets a little bit of a pass there.
Well,
I guess in his lifetime, though, the Giants been pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Giants. I mean, the Giants have won Super Bowls. When's the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You go anywhere in this country, go to Lansing, Michigan. Gosh, I mean, when I was a kid in the D.C. area, and Washington was great.
Yeah,
Cowboys fans ever. Like the Cowboys watch parties, just in random places. Like, how are all these Cowboys fans? Why?
America's team.
I know.
When we come back, we'll continue the conversation on the Titans, including could the Titans have another sneaky MVP candidate in their midst? We'll get to that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Friday evening at 5, it's Floyd Reese, a true Titan, honoring the GM's legacy as he goes into the Ring of Honor, featuring some of the biggest names in franchise history, and hosted by longtime co-host Jared Stillman. Floyd Reese, a true Titan, presented by Neighbors in Germantown. Tune in Friday at 5 on Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Mississippi is the perfect place to find yourself while getting lost in everything nature has to offer. Start planning your trip today at visitmississippi.org/goodtimes. Mississippi, good times are close by.
Are you having Thanksgiving at your house but have no furniture and have no clue where to go? Well, Social Furniture is here to help you get your home ready for hosting your family's Thanksgiving dinner with their great dining room sets. Social Furniture is locally owned and save up to 70% on all furniture that will have your family begging to stay. They have sofas, sectionals with chase lounge, and recliners that are all push-button, electric, and wall away. They have all colors to choose from, and for your comfort, all of them are plus leather, microfiber, and Chanel's. Let Social Furniture help you celebrate your Thanksgiving with hundreds of furniture to choose from and save up to 70%. There's no waiting, and take home your new holiday furniture today or with their same-day fine furniture delivery. That's right, Social Furniture has same-day delivery with no down payments and no interest. Visit Social Furniture in West Nashville at 5412 Charlotte Avenue. Forget the big box store. Support local. Support social. On the web at mysocialfurniture.com.
No need to stand in line waiting for the deals this year. Black Friday shopping starts early at Electronic Express. Huge savings on 4K TVs, computers, laptops, tablets, speakers, headphones, and more. Upgrade your kitchen just in time for Thanksgiving with up to 40% off all appliances. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. It's already Black Friday shopping season at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Edmunds. Thanks to Edmunds for sponsoring the show. Deals on new and used vehicles have been harder to find recently because of car shortages and increased demand. I think you don't want this stress of researching prices and budgeting. If you or your family or friends are in the market, you've got to use my friends at Edmunds. When I use the Edmunds website, it's very easy to find exactly what you're looking for. They have helpful filters so you can search by make, model, color, and you can find dealerships that are close to you and offering home delivery. And these days, you gotta love that. Over 50 years of car shopping advice and price guidance all in one place. Edmunds gives you resources for every part of the process of buying or selling a car. You can get a free online appraisal in under 1 minute with options for a real cash offer from a participating dealership. No personal information required. Car shopping can be stressful, and Edmunds is here to help. Visit Edmunds.com to get your free online appraisal today and start searching for vehicles in your area. That's EDMUNDS.com. For cars, there's Edmunds.
Since being the first to make wiper blades over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in any weather. We're always looking ahead, studying your specific driving conditions so you'll be ready for anything. Like, if it actually rains cats and dogs, you can handle every soggy Siamese and drenched Doberman. Your Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact for safe, clear driving visibility, whatever the weather. Trico, the future of wipers since 1917. Visit TricoCatsAndDogs.com.
This Saturday,
it's Williams running, touchdown, Oklahoma. Blocked and Paul finds the end zone.
it's a Big 12 showdown from Norman as the Oklahoma Sooners take on the Iowa State Cyclones.
Someone said football, so I come running.
Coverage begins at 10:30
on ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, it's Max Kellerman, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, conveniently serving Middle Tennessee with 13 locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezvik here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. We've got some tickets to give away to see ZZ Top at the Grand Ole Opry coming up on Wednesday, November 24th. Be caller number 3, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Caller number 3 will win a pair of tickets to see ZZ Top at the Grand Ole Opry House on Wednesday, November 24th. So hit up our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Joe Rexrode, we discussed earlier this week the NFL MVP conversation and how it's become increasingly difficult to really nail down a favorite. Kyler Murray's been hurt the last couple of weeks. Lamar Jackson had a bad game against Miami. Dak Prescott missed some time, and he had a bad game against Denver as well. And then Brady just lost to the Washington football team and did not look very good. So it's been kind of difficult to nail down exactly who the favorite is right now for MVP. And Courtney Cronin from ESPN has come out with a list kind of detailing the top candidates right now for MVP. She's got Brady at number 1, Lamar Jackson at 2, Dak Prescott at 3, Kyler Murray at 4, Josh Allen, and then Matthew Stafford as well. The players that are just missing the cut, according to her, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers, Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. And then she does a stock up and stock down. Derek Carr's stock on the way down. Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill, stock up. And it says Tannehill has steadily built his MVP resume during Tennessee's 6-game win streak. In a triumph over the Colts during Week 8 when star running back Derrick Henry was held to 68 yards, Tannehill stepped up, went 10 for 11 for 155 yards when targeting A.J. Brown and marked the start of a nearly unstoppable 3-week stretch for the quarterback-wide receiver duo. The win in Indy was Tannehill's 17th as a starting QB when trailing by double digits, the second most by any QB since 2012. So I look at Ryan Tannehill, the way he's played so far this year. It's been, I think, largely good. I think he's been fine. There have been some interceptions that leave you just kind of scratching your head. I don't really think MVP when I watch Ryan Tannehill play this year, but it is a lot of times a team award as well. And if the Titans end up 14-3, do you think there's any chance that Ryan Tannehill could insert himself into the MVP conversation based on what's happening around him right now at that position?
I'll be honest, I hadn't considered this. I saw that I saw you put this on the grid, and I said, "Oh, okay. What the heck is Robby talking about?" But
this was not my idea.
Yeah, well, now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I will say that, okay, so, I mean, like statistically, this is by far his worst season, with the Titans. Let's see. So he's, 12th in passing yards. He's, in QB rating. And this is not the be-all, end-all, but these things get taken into account. In QB rating, Ryan Tannehill right now is 22nd with a 90.7 rating. 12-8 touchdown to picks, which is certainly nothing to write home about. Actually, let's look at it. You got rating, and then you got QBR. Okay, what is he in QBR? Which, I mean, I can't honestly sit here and tell you the exact difference, but there's two different quarterbacks. Well, in QBR, he is 8th in the league. I will say that, so I think if they win out or close to it, like you said, maybe 14-3, maybe lose one more game, they're the clear one. They continue to not run the ball. He has much bigger numbers. He has, his numbers push him at least up into the, into the neighborhood of these guys. Maybe he ends up with what do they have? They have 7 games left. Can he get up to 26 touchdown passes and not throw more than one more pick? I mean, I think there's some statistical markers that have to be part of this.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. I don't have the exact, but they have to look good. And I will say, if he plays really well, so how many of these remaining games will the NFL be paying attention to? They do have a Thursday night game against the Niners, so there's one. And that could be, I mean, the Niners might be playing themselves back into relevance here, so that could be a big game. At Pittsburgh, at New England. So those 3 games probably are the 3 games where, it's not just a score on the crawl for most of the, Hey, if he plays really well in those games and they win, or they win 2 of the 3, and they continue to not run the ball well, and then it continues to be this sort of vacuum, this void of anyone really stepping forward, then there's a tiny, tiny, tiny chance.
That, to me, is the key. It has to probably, for him to even approach this conversation, it's got to go the way it's been going the last few weeks with some other quarterbacks. Like Brady the last couple weeks, not been very good. Lamar had a bad game against Miami. Kyler Murray's not been on the field. And Matthew Stafford might have played his way out of the conversation the last couple of weeks with the way that he's played. So, I mean, it would require, I think, more of that to continue. And, oh, by the way, I mean, the 2 guys that they have just missing, I would say, much more likely to surge in the second half of the season than Ryan Tannehill, and that would be Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. They're, I guess they're, who's the under-the-radar MVP candidate? They've selected Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, oh, yeah, Mahomes under the radar. Love it.
Mahomes, well, the thing with Mahomes is there's already, well, I think with both those guys, maybe a little bit of fatigue for voters.
Yeah.
And in a year like this, I honestly don't even look at Mahomes as having that much of a chance at all, just because his standard is just different, especially statistically. I mean, he's only got 2,900 yards. He's only got 25 touchdowns.
He's won 1 MVP.
But it's been constant discussion of him as an MVP for the past 3 seasons,
sure.
Right? So I do think there's some. I think there's it's maybe fatigue's the wrong word. Again, like he has like his standard of what is MVP worthy, he's not going to come close to that this year.
Unless he just blows up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's still enough season left that you can't make any declarations, right? I mean, any of these guys could go nuts. If Kyler Murray comes back and then they're great, then his absence shows you how valuable he was, right? I mean, Stafford, I agree with you. The last 2 weeks have been terrible. He's still, like, his numbers are ridiculous, and if they go tear it up at the end, he could get back in there too. It's so unlikely that there isn't going to be a guy or two who steps forward.
If you had to pick one guy right now that's your favorite to win the MVP, who would it be?
Ugh. My favorite is whoever plays really well at the end and wins most of their games. Honestly, I think I might be still looking at Kyler Murray. Honestly, like his chances, and I know that they won the one game with Colt McCoy over the Niners, but they looked so bad last week. If he comes back and they just pick it up from there. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers went in and beat him, so that's worth keeping in mind. But if they finish it out really strong and he plays like he's been playing, I think I would go with him right now.
I'm going Dak Prescott. If I had to nail one down, I'm going to go Prescott.
Well, America's team.
There is that. I got a texter that says, don't forget Tannehill's stats were against the hardest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
There was that.
Look, I mean, I think Tannehill's played well, okay? And I think that there's some ridiculous analysis of Tannehill going on out there. But MVP, I think he, first of all, he fights the battle, and we've talked about this a million times, of the team he's on, the great player in the backfield with him, and the perception that he's a passenger. That's one thing about Derrick Henry getting hurt is Tannehill has this opportunity that he's never had before with the Titans to say, hey, I actually can carry a team myself.
Ty on the text line. Is it not always Aaron Rodgers? Look at them with Jordan Love. He may not get it, but he's always the MVP. I will say the Jordan Love game probably helped him in that discussion, but he's not getting MVP this year.
Why, because of all the back stuff, you think?
There's no way he's getting it because of all that stuff. And, I mean, just won it last year. He's not getting it this year.
Yeah, he'd have to – you're probably right, but if they went out and he lights up the world, I wouldn't rule him out. I mean, if he's the clear – if it's close, I would tend to agree. Like someone else will beat him out. But if he's the clear winner, then he'll win.
Ben on the text line. Derrick Henry would have a legit chance if the last 3 weeks happened and he was still playing.
Oh, no question.
If he's still playing right now and he was playing to the way that he had been playing all season, I think he would be the leader in the clubhouse.
He'd be the favorite right now. Yeah.
Which
not to make Titans fans. I know, not to make Titans fans feel bad, and also he'd be looking at about 270 yards on Sunday, but
maybe in the first half,
first quarter, maybe
against that just stout Houston Texans rushing defense.
Vaunted.
I say this now, and the Titans are going to rush for 58 yards on Sunday. I'm fully prepared for it.
If they rush for 58 yards on Sunday, then be alarmed.
We'll continue the discussion on Ryan Tannehill when we come back. Take your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Do you want to win a pair of tickets to see Dierks Bentley at Bridgestone Arena on Friday, February 25th? Well, head on over to YouTube, subscribe to the 1025 The Game YouTube page, and you'll enter for your chance to see Dierks Bentley live. Once you subscribe, email us at promotions@cromwellmedia.com with your YouTube handle. One winner will be chosen on Monday, November 22nd. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. A couple scattered showers will continue for us for the rest of the morning. Most of this clears by the early afternoon. Colder today, highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Last year, Nashville SC shattered the expectations in Major League Soccer.
Nashville SC dumping Toronto out of the playoffs.
Now they're back for more. Nashville SC is back in the Audi MLS Cup playoffs, and you can cheer for the boys in gold here at Nissan Stadium. Get your tickets now for round 1 to see Nashville SC face off against Orlando City SC on November 23rd at 7 p.m. Tickets start at just $24, so come be a part as the boys in gold look to bring a championship to Nashville. Get your tickets at NashvilleSC.com/tickets. Everyone in.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. This weekend at Genesis, we're hosting the largest luxury pre-owned Rolex event ever held in Tennessee, just in time for the holidays. Genesis has found and purchased a spectacular selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all the hottest models that people wait years for, and we're showcasing them all this weekend. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, rare luxury timepieces you can't find anywhere else. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come early. Get the first pick and get 60 months financing. How about a luxury pre-owned two-tone Submariner for only $299 a month, or a ladies 36mm date just for only $199 a month? Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your luxury pre-owned Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in Tennessee and take advantage of special financing this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your new home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Darren McFarland. He's cool. He's got a personality, and they make fun of him. Willie Donick.
With this being a fun guy to come to work and hang around with all day.
Chase McCabe.
They're just like, hey, we need you to play yourself.
Darren, Donick, and Chase have you covered weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Curation CBD on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
From day one, Coach Vrabel's preached, next man up mentality. Opportunity is going to come up for guys, and I think with the type of people that J-Rob and Vrabel bring into this building, they want to bring in guys who want to compete and contribute to our team. And so I think when those opportunities have arisen, we've had a bunch of guys really step up and make huge plays for us and help us win football games. So, yeah, you hate seeing guys go down. You hate having to use as many guys as we've had, but at the same time, you're thankful for the mentality that this team has and that next man up mentality where we can go out and play confidently, no matter who's out there.
That was Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill at his press conference yesterday, discussing the confidence in his team right now, moving forward, even with all the injuries that they've had. And Joe, we're discussing Ryan Tannehill. It's interesting, the variance of discussion on what Tannehill has done so far this season. We just got done talking about an article on ESPN that's wondering whether or not he can insert himself into the MVP conversation. And then there are some that think he has been largely pretty bad this year. So that's a pretty wide variance of discussion when it comes to the Titans quarterback. Why do you think that is? And as you look at it, even though the numbers would suggest it's a pretty big step back for Ryan Tannehill this year, why are you convinced that it's not that big of a step back for him based on what you've seen so far from number 17, aside from the obvious of, hey, the Titans keep winning games?
Well, do you disagree with me?
No.
I mean, the numbers are what they are, and ultimately numbers matter. Numbers. And look, when Tannehill was playing really well when he took over the job 2 years ago, and then last year, that was what was cited a lot. We cited it a lot. In 19, his combo of completion percentage and yards per attempt was like the second best ever.
Yeah.
And it was in a large enough sample size for that to be very impressive. And so these things, stats matter. They are obviously going to be used in a discussion like this, and there aren't any stats that really say he's been exceptional. And I don't think he's been exceptional. I would say that he's clearly not as good. It does remind me a little bit of Kevin Byard last year. How much do you just say, look, there's no excuses. It's on you. You're supposed to be – you're a captain. You're the quarterback. You've got to play better. And how much do you say, but this, and this is different or has gone wrong, and so you're trying to compensate for it? I think that the protection has been the biggest problem for Tannehill, and it's not close. And that's really frustrating. That I don't see how anybody – who closely watches this team would dispute that. In early 19, their protection was awful without Lawan, with nothing at right guard that they could figure out. They were awful, right? And then eventually it was great. That team's offense was awful and then great. The team was awful and then great. The 2019 season is as dramatic a transformation of an NFL team I can recall.
Yep.
So from the transformation moment, which really was Lawan settling in a couple games in, Nate Davis settling in, figuring it out, and Ryan Tannehill taking over at quarterback, really through last year, that's one thing that they had. They had good protection, and they figured it out even without Lawan. But this year, for a variety of reasons, it hasn't been as good. Is that a reason for some of these picks that he's thrown and almost picks that he's thrown? Because that's what I think would be in his performance, the difference is that he's taking too many risks or he's just throwing too many questionable passes.
Yeah, I would say so too. And, the protection, I think, also a big part of that. Think about some of the interceptions that he's thrown, right? Even the one last week that got called back for the roughing the passer. There's somebody right in his face. Look at the second one in Indy. Or somebody right in his face. Now, as a quarterback, you still can't do that, but that's, I think, an illustration of what you're talking about of he's been under pressure a lot more this year. Now, again, he's got to make better decisions with the ball when he's under pressure like that, but, look at 19 and 20. He threw 6 picks in 19, 7 last year, and even last year, you're talking about a significant portion of the season with no Taylor Lewan, and you still, you had pretty good time back there to throw. It's just not really been the case this year. And, with as banged up as the offensive line continues to be, we talked about Nate Davis earlier. I don't know that it's really ever going to be the case this year where he's just got a ton of time. The beginning portion of last season, 2020, it was kind of amazing how much time he had. He could go through about 4 reads, and then if nothing was there, throw the ball away or take off and run or whatever. There's not a lot of time so far this year for Tannehill.
Right. No, exactly. And I don't know why people forget or didn't notice that. But Lawan is also part of this too, right? And it's the whole Lawan discussion because, like you said, they did a pretty good job without Lawan last year. But that also, Jonnu Smith became a different kind of player. They had to help Sombrilo or Quessenberry a lot more than they helped Lawan. So. But they had A.J. Brown, they had Derrick Henry, they had Corey Davis. They were fine. They had enough weapons out in the field for him to make plays, and then they could still protect him. But before that, they were lethal because Jonnu Smith was a much bigger part of the passing game along with those guys. That's a lethal offense they had with the offensive line playing the way it was before he got hurt. And it's just not the same. And Now Jonnu Smith's gone. Corey Davis is gone. Julio Jones has been an occasional cameo. So those are all factors for sure. And look, it is the Arthur Smith to Todd Downing. I don't know. I mean, it's the same offense. It's interesting, too, by the way, speaking about articles around the league. Someone wrote one yesterday that has Todd Downing as one of the candidates to be a head coach.
Yeah, it's Pelissero.
So, I mean, imagine that. It's like Mike Vrabel. You just keep sending tight ends coaches to OC and then losing them to head coaching jobs. How about that, though, for a think about week 1 with Todd Downing and all the Raiders fans.
Yeah. Well, think about if he gets a head coaching job. That will be 4 years that Vrabel's been here and 3 offensive coordinators it's been taken away and been hired as a head coach. It's pretty incredible.
Right. And the first one was like, really?
Yeah.
That's worked out okay. I mean, as a Packers fan, are you happy with Matt LaFleur?
Yeah.
Good coach, right? I mean, pretty good.
He's like, what is he? I don't know. He's 34-8 as a head coach in the regular season.
I promise you there are still some flawed analysts out there who would say, well, Aaron Rodgers, come on.
It does help to have Aaron Rodgers, but he's 34-8.
I mean, at some point it kind of probably says something about you as a coach, right? But that was a bit of a surprise. I mean, Arthur Smith was less of a surprise.
Yeah.
After his 2 years, he was so good. And it just had, he's a head coach kind of person. Todd Downing, I hadn't been really considering that, but you know what? When you have this kind of success in terms of winning and also in terms of production, you get rewards like that.
Devin from Dover on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Guys, we all know who thinks Tannehill's been bad. You can call him out. It's Jared.
Is he the only one?
No.
I mean, I've heard some Jared analysis. And again, my problem, and Jared and I have yelled at each other about this, is like he thinks like there's no difference in the offensive line play. I'm like, dude, again, how many fireball shots between the end of the pregame show and watching the game are we talking about here? Dozens?
Could be.
But
yes.
he's not the only one. Yes? You have confirmation?
No.
But I've heard he's not the only one. And I mean, Tannehill in general is, I think, a favorite. Like the Miami. There was one game where he didn't play well, and there was just a whole bunch of Miami Tannehill. I mean, people can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait to bust that out.
We'll come back. We'll continue the discussion on the Titans. Get into the defensive side of the ball. Who have been the top 5 defensive players so far this season for the Titans? We'll get into that coming up next. Welcome your thoughts as well on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. The NFL season has given us a big Week 11 divisional matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks, and FanDuel Sportsbook about to make it even bigger because FanDuel is giving new customers 30-1 odds on either team to win. That means you can win $150 on a $5 bet. I like the upset in this one. Give me the Seattle Seahawks. I like Russell Wilson being back in the fold. I think he'll look better this week than he did a week ago against the Packers. But you take it any way you want to take it. Offers like this are why I love betting with FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the #1 rated sportsbook app in America, and you get paid in as little as 2 hours when you win. So just sign up with promo code ROB this week before the Cardinals take on the Seahawks, and you can win $150 on a $5 bet. Remember to use promo code ROB so they know that I sent you exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. New users only. A $10 first deposit required. And must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus of $150. Bonus for Tennessee users fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
The MTSU Blue Raiders live here.
Touchdown, Middle Tennessee! 3-ball, yes, sir!
And when you're in the borough, tune us in on 97.5.
In the end zone, caught, touchdown!
We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
These are battles, these are grinds. We don't panic, we don't freak out. That's how we're built. 1, 2, 3.
This is The Drive to the Playoffs, brought to you by Coleman Tractor on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game in the Game Nashville app.
Another weekend at home for the Titans. The Texans will be in town for a noon kickoff. Although this week could look like an easy win for Tennessee, they're not holding anything back.
Yeah, man. I don't know who draws the papers up, but these games in this league, these are grown men with a lot of pride. And if you take a playoff, somebody could get hurt. Not only could you lose the game, somebody could get hurt. That's just never how I've ever approached this game. You know what I mean? You drop your hands one time and you get hit in the chin and you go to a knee. I never bought into any of that stuff, so wasn't big on paper. No, just do the stuff that we've been coaching you to do since 2018 when we all got here, and do it better. Not trying to reinvent anything, but just trying to manage the week of preparation, trying to focus on the stuff that we believe in that wins games, and just do it better.
More than halfway through the NFL regular season, Mike Vrabel has been in the Coach of the Year conversation. Ryan Tannehill says that he's thankful to be coached under Vrabel.
Coach Vrabel does a great job preparing us each and every week, setting the tone, holding us accountable, and putting a game plan together for our team each and every week. So, thankful to have a coach who handles those situations really well and keeps the pressure on us.
Todd Downing, Shane Bowen, and Craig Ackerman will speak to the media at 11:30 this morning. I'm Michelle Knezvik with your morning drive to the playoffs on ESPN Radio 102.5 The Game.
Family Leisure's Ultimate Game Room Sale is back.
Huge discounts up to 50% off on all kinds of game room furniture and accessories.
Slate pool tables from Brunswick and Legacy pool tables. Prices starting as low as $14.99 installed.
Perfect for Christmas.
Family Leisure has huge savings on massage chairs. Full body massage chairs starting at only $9.99. 4D massage chair more than half off at $29.99.
Family Leisure guarantees to beat anyone's advertised home theater seating prices. Shuffleboards, foosball, and air hockey tables on sale as well.
That's Family Leisure at both locations, Franklin and Antioch.
Where family and fun come together.
Whether you're driving for distance, pitching for precision, or putting to win it all, come to Edwin Watts Golf Shop to get custom fit for all your clubs throughout your bag. Hit a few balls and let our team show you the latest swing technology and data that will help optimize your game. Having each club tailored to become your gamers will help you start shooting lower scores. Let Edwin Watts Golf Shops help you make every shot the perfect one. Come in and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
Bode Nashville puts you in a chic and stylish downtown Nashville hotel. Walking distance to some of Music City's most popular spots. Working with local partners, they introduce you to the city, its craft, and its tastes. From their porch coffee and marketplace, serving local coffee from Stay Golden, to their in-house cocktail bar, Sidebar. Bode Nashville is a perfect spot for your pregame or nightcap and citywide adventure in between. Connect to Music City, its culture, its craft, and each other at Bode Nashville at 401 2nd Avenue South in Sobro.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ-HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. It's Robby and Rexrode with Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions right here. Remember FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezvik here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Going to be joined at 7:30 by Preds assistant coach Todd Richards. So looking forward to that conversation coming up here in about 30 minutes. Right now, talking Titans, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Joe Rexrode, it's been obviously a very nice turnaround for this Titans defense so far this year, particularly in the last few weeks in the winning streak that they have been in. The front four has been sensational for the most part, and they've gotten some good play on the back end as well. Who have been your top 5 defensive performers so far this year for the Titans? You can start it from 5 to 1. You can start it from 1 to 5. As always, I give that option to you.
You keep trying to push this 5 to 1
I'm
thing.
just asking.
I'm not
it builds
big on
suspense a little bit.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like
when they do the top 10 on ESPN, do they start at 1 or do they stop at 10, Joe, or start at 10, Joe?
Yeah. Well, like a classic rock station does, like a top 100 classic rock songs of all time. They don't start with 1. But I feel like if it's a small number, then you should just go 1 through 5.
That's why I'm leaving it up to you.
Yeah, I can't. My brain, it's too non-linear for me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go number 1. And actually, it's really hard because there's some obvious candidates. Who's been the best in terms of who's going to be the most rewarded. I think there are 2 guys in particular. Well, but maybe there are 3 guys in particular. There's probably a 3-way battle for 1. I'm going to go with Harold Landry, number 1, because Harold Landry has been doing it all year. Jeffrey Simmons the last couple of weeks, and Jeffrey Simmons has been good all year. Don't get me wrong. It's funny because Terrell Williams, the defensive line coach, was available Tuesday, and he was asked about Simmons and the 5 sacks and everything, and he said, well, his best game of the season was at Indy. And, of course, Simmons had no sacks in that game. But Simmons in that game, times tangling with Quentin Nelson and what they did overall defensively in that game, his analysis was – and so that's what you have to keep in mind with interior defensive linemen. Simmons is an awfully compelling case here, and I'm going to go with him second. So it's Landry and Simmons, okay? 1, 2.
Okay.
And it's hard to put Kevin Byard third. But I'm putting Kevin Byard third. I think last year the demise of Kevin Byard was exaggerated, and it had a lot to do with bad corners and no pass rush. And this year he's been terrific, and he's going to be a Pro Bowler, I believe. And it helps to have better corners and a feared pass rush. So I think that's an obvious top 3. And then for me, I'm pretty clear on 4, Danico Autry. And frankly, it's tough to put him that low. He's been such a great pickup for this team. So there's 3 of your top 4 among that among that group. And then it gets really difficult. And I tell you what, had he played all year, I would have Christian Fulton there, but I'm going to have David Long Jr. 5th. So Christian Fulton has a really good case. He missed some time. David Long Jr., I know, missed the last game too, by the way, but he's been so good, so active, such a playmaker, and so much better in coverage that I've got to go with him 5th.
I'm going Harold Landry number 1 as well, and basically for the reason you said. He's done it really from the opening snap this year to where he is now. There's not been much drop-off in Harold Landry. He's been pretty consistently good and dominant, really, from the start this season. So I think you've got to go with Harold Landry number 1. I've got Byard at number 2. I think Byard has been awesome, and not just the way he's played consistently, but the gigantic plays that he's made in the games as well. I think Kevin Byard, I've got to put him at number 2, very slightly ahead of Jeff Simmons. I think the top 3 is pretty clear. I would be surprised if there's a Titan fan out there that does not have some version of Landry, Simmons, and Byard in your top 3.
I'm not mad at somebody who would put Autry in the top 3. He doesn't have the sack numbers, but I think also he's been awfully disruptive.
He's been good
from day one. Very strong 4. I hope you have him.
I've got him at 4.
Okay.
And I've got also David Long Jr. at 5. So not much difference, just a little bit difference in the way we order them in our top 5. But, hey, I think you can make an argument for Christian Fulton, especially if he can stay healthy the rest of the year. He can insert himself in the conversation. Like, when I thought about this list yesterday as I was putting it together, I also thought to myself, can you imagine trying to put together this list last year? Like your top 5 defensive players for the Titans? That would have been pretty difficult.
Harold Landry. Jeff Simmons.
Malcolm Butler. That's about it.
I mean, you'd still probably have Byard on it.
I guess.
Well, I mean, again.
Lack of options, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Kevin Byard never made a play last year.
I understand, but he also was not good.
Or was completely, torched, series after series. I am struggling to come up with a 5th, though. Yeah, Butler, yeah. Butler would be in there. How much because Jayon Brown was pretty good before he got hurt. So maybe you would have gone there. Daquan Jones, maybe? Yeah, no, it's
been tough.
With this group, I think there's a pretty clear, Super 6. Like, I think most people would, if that was their 5, or they would have Fulton. And then then it gets a little more like, who else would you say?
Well, Amani Hooker had been healthy the whole year.
Yeah, he's been good.
Probably could have put him in the conversation. He's just, injuries have been a problem. Same thing with Fulton. Like, if Fulton was healthy the whole year, he's probably in this for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Hooker has made a difference for sure.
JD on the text line has Landry at 1, David Long Jr. at 2, and then Byard, Simmons, and Autry. So David Long Jr. at 2 for JD.
Okay. He makes plays. There's no doubt. It's been a big deal for this year. It's also a big deal for them when you look at what's coming. Feeling great about him being, one of your starters next year.
We got a texter, Kyle, texting in, and I know what he means, but it's funny anyway, so I'm going to read it. It says, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Fired still led the team in tacos last year, and he also got called for very few penalties. I think he means Kevin Fired led the team in tackles, but Kevin Fired led the team in tacos is better, so I'm sticking with that.
Kind of makes me hungry.
You ready for some
tacos with some hot sauce?
Matt with a vote for Amani Hooker for last year. So, maybe.
Yeah.
He was the backup safety, but I think he led the team in picks last year, didn't he?
I'm trying to remember how much Vaccaro was hurt last year. Hooker played a fair amount, and he was out there a lot. They had a lot of packages where they had 3 safeties. So, yeah, maybe. Could buy that.
Ryan in Nashville texting in, you want to put Clowney in that top 5 last year for the defense. Put him in there. How's he doing this year?
Pro Football Focus liked how he played last year.
Yes, they did.
Just like you to know. I don't know how Clowney's doing this year. He was on a bit of a heater there. I don't know if I haven't really been able to watch them lately. I know that they just
gave up a 45 spot the other day.
Yeah.
He's got 3.5 sacks in 9 games.
Okay. It was never about sacks with Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, man. Somebody following up on the text line if Michelle has seen Major League or not.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you were on the phone, Michelle. Have you seen the movie Major League?
No.
Okay.
We got a lot of work
Are you guys surprised?
Nope. I said, when the question was
shocked.
asked, I said there's no chance. No chance.
That's going on the list.
Yeah, this is a
Joe,
long
you
list.
are in charge of making the list, okay?
Yeah.
Clear out an afternoon. Make an entire list.
Clear out a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I do need to I've got a list going now.
We'll continue the conversation on the Titans when we come back. Got more of your thoughts to get to on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
That's the way to win. Took everybody. We found a way to win. Let's go. Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Red Hot Titans sit atop the AFC with an 8-2 record.
It is pretty incredible that they just continue to find ways to win.
Your home of the best Titans coverage.
This is how the Titans are going to have to win games.
Is Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. Save money with pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate. Call a local Allstate agent and get a quote.
Gary Ashton here. Most people in Nashville know me as the don't sell without the intel and the guaranteed offer guy. But despite my accent, I'm also 100% guaranteed Nashville. I'm a guaranteed musician, a guaranteed dog lover, and you're also guaranteed to see me at every Titans and Preds game. Guaranteed offer means the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage will sell your house for top dollar with no cleaning, staging, showings, or open houses, and give you up to 90 days to close. So there's plenty of time to find your next home. Guaranteed Nashville means my team lives here and loves it here. We've served Nashville for over 20 years, and we're passionate about helping the people we call neighbors and friends, which is why we've had a long-standing tradition of donating to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. If you're thinking about a guaranteed offer, get the only one that's guaranteed Nashville. Request a no-obligation offer by calling 615-301-1650 or go to GaryAshton.com today. Remember, Gary Ashton, guaranteed Nashville.
It's not just about being in your community. It's about being your community. Come experience the all-new state-of-the-art Volunteer State Bank, second Murfreesboro location at 2019 Memorial Boulevard. Volunteer State Bank offers personalized services like banking for professionals, free Kasasa checking, the convenience of mobile banking, and the money you need when you need it. Visit one of our 13 locations or online at ballstatebank.com. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Well, here we are at Pour Vu. Any great words of wisdom as we peruse the 10,000 square feet of wine, spirits, beers for our tailgating and upcoming holiday parties?
One thing, great minds drink alike, huh?
Nice. Wow, look at all the wine.
Hey, don't forget to buy a bottle from Mom. Remember, you're the reason she drinks.
Hey,
check it out. Pour Vu has their own app, curbside, and home delivery. Tonight, I will be having my favorite drink. It's called A Lot.
I only drink on days that begin with T. Today, tomorrow.
Well, you're in luck because Pour Vu's new tasting bar is in effect Thursday through Saturday, right next to the humidor.
Party supplies with mixers, hard to find small batch specialties, and tequila.
I am telling you, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy tequila, and that's kind of the same thing, right?
Tequila, because no good story ever starts with that one time I ate salad.
Right? Pour Vu means for you. They really have the best selection, service, and knowledge we didn't find at the big box stores.
May all your days be filled with umbrella drinks.
Pour Vu, open 7 days a week at Indian Lake Boulevard, exit 7 off Vietnam Vets in Hendersonville.
After a whole month of pro values, Lowe's Provember event is ending soon, but pros like you still have time to save. With buy one, get one free deals on select DeWalt power tools and top values like a Spider 2-pack of 4.5-inch diamond cutoff wheels for $14.98. Provember ends November 24th. Shop in-store or at lowes.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. While supplies last, U.S. only, valid 10/28 through 11/24.
Interact with Robby and Rexrode. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Go to theGameNashville.com/deals to check out Nashville's best deals. The deal this week, a $30 gift card for only $15 to Brooklyn Bowl. Whether you're craving comfort food or fueling up for bowling or a concert, Brooklyn Bowl Nashville has you covered with tasty dishes including fried chicken, flatbread pizza, ribs, jumbo sandwiches, plus a variety of vegetarian and vegan options as well. The new venue holds 19 state-of-the-art lanes with food and beverage service and comfy leather seating for you and your crew. So get your deal now at theGameNashville.com/deals. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, conveniently serving Middle Tennessee with 13 locations. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezevich here with you on this Thursday morning. Going to be joined shortly at about 7:30 by Predators assistant coach Todd Richards. So looking forward to that conversation coming up here in just a few minutes. Right now, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. William from Madison texting in, talking about postseason awards. Congrats to Brentwood native Robby Ray for winning the Cy Young last night.
That's right. Toronto Blue Jays, Brentwood's own.
I've seen Robby Ray pitch a few times. Dude's always been a monster. It is amazing. I mean, he wasn't very good last year, and I think he had his ERA last year was like over 6. And he comes back this year and wins the Cy Young. Pretty good stuff. Lot of Nashville connections in Major League Baseball.
No doubt.
A lot of them.
And, of course, Robby Ray, formerly part of the Tigers farm system.
That's right.
Exciting part of their future, and then traded away.
Let him get out the door. Let's go back to the text line. John in Nashville texting in. The top 5 sports movies of all time. Number 1, Bull Durham. Number 2, Miracle. Number 3, Major League. Number 4, For the Love of the Game. And number 5, Happy Gilmore. This is coming from John in Nashville.
Okay. This is, first of all, we need these conversations in like June.
Yes.
So, but remember the Titans got to be on there for me. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Major League though.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you got to check out Major League.
Okay, guys, I will watch it.
What do you think
Will you though? Really?
Will you? What do you think? So the Tickle Monsters has been thrown around the last few days as, I guess, a nickname for this Titans defense. It's been all over the place on Twitter. Everybody talking about Tickle Monsters when it comes to the Titans. And Jeffrey Simmons was asked about this yesterday at Titans Availability, and I guess what his thoughts are on the Tennessee Tickle Monsters as the name. Here's what Titans defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons had to say yesterday at his media availability.
Yeah, I saw that. I kind of ignored it. That's not who we are. I see they need to come up with something more aggressive. Tickle muscle sound too, I guess nice. When we on the field, we like to be mean. We like to be aggressive. So I don't like that one.
What's a better fit?
I don't know. They got to come up with something better than that.
So Jeffrey Simmons not a big fan of the tickle monsters. What is going on here?
Stunning that someone who plays
professional football,
and sacks quarterbacks doesn't want to be part of a group called the Tennessee Tickle Monsters. Shocking that he wouldn't embrace that. I don't know where it started. I saw it thrown around with the A to Z guys a little bit. It's funny. But, I mean, a couple weeks ago, I threw out there, like, should there be some kind of a nickname for the front? I had the dumb, like, law firm. That doesn't, that doesn't really work. There's got to be something. I saw someone put, like, the blue line or something. Actually, hold on. I got one that's actually kind of interesting here from Rhett Bryan, who, works on Titans Radio. So Mike Keith came up with the 300, okay? So if you add Simmons 98, Autry 96, Landry 58, Bud Dupree 48, apparently, and I'm not going to do the math. I'm going to take his word for it. That adds up to 300.
Okay.
And so apparently, Mike Keith said this on the air. He calls those four the 300, which of course, 300. Anybody? Well, here's another movie question. Have you seen the movie 300?
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that great. But it's a Greek mythology, very, very violent movie. Actually, it would be good, like
I don't like the violent stuff.
Very gory. Braveheart would be a good warm-up for 300.
Braveheart versus Gerard Butler out there.
Wait, what?
Gerard Butler's in 300.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Gerard Butler, yeah.
Joe didn't get a movie reference?
I'm sorry. In fact, it's funny because I'm looking at this GIF, and there he is, right, staring at me. But that's not bad, the 300. What do you think?
Yeah.
No, not a fan?
No.
Okay. There's got to be something good.
Jim on the text line says the nickname for the Titans defense should be the Broadway Bouncers. What do you think of that? The Broadway Bouncers.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Who came up with Broadway Bullies? Someone came up with
can't do that.
But it's too close to Broad Street Bullies.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to be able to come up with something. Someone also said, "What about the Tennessee Tackle Monsters? You change one, you change one vowel."
Yeah, no.
No.
Maybe that should have been the follow-up to.
Yeah. What about
Jeffrey Simmons?
He'd be like, no. Okay.
Keith texting in two-tone brews. What about two-tone brews?
Okay.
As in, like, not beer, but actually developing a bruise.
Like a bruise.
Yes.
Yeah, an actual two-tone bruise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. But, like when you hear it, like, it's the one. There aren't that many.
Is there a particular reason why every time, like, something good happens, there's got to be a nickname tossed around to it?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty lame, and yet I participate in that too often, so I can't really rip on it too much. Like, who came up with the Purple People Eaters, I mean, like, that's a part of NFL lore.
Yeah.
But when someone first came up with that, whoever did, were people like, oh, that's amazing?
Probably
I don't know.
not.
Yeah, but it's part of NFL lore. Purple People Eaters. You want something that sticks. Fred Stabley Jr. was a writer at the Lansing State Journal in like 1975, and he watched this unbelievable high school player, and he's like, magic. And the entire world still calls the dude magic.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
We got a vote for the Titanium Curtain and the Broadway Brawlers. The Broadway Brawlers.
It's okay. They're okay. I mean, the Broadway Brawl, alliteration is often a part of this, and that has alliteration.
Yeah. Crash of the Titans. The East Bank Boys from Dennis. We got a wide variety of nicknames people are coming up with.
I mean, none of them are bad.
No.
It's just like nothing's really like, yes, that's it. Keep them coming.
The Titanium Curtain. I kind of like that one. Seems like a mouthful, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine like the Titanium Curtain. People yelling that or trying to put it on a T-shirt. Have really small letters.
Matt from the Borough texting in the Two-Tone Tyrants or the Blue Light Special. One of the two.
A blue light special has to be saved for Kroger Field. Some excellent defenders for the
Yes,
Cats.
it does.
I like that one. I'll take it.
The Music City Maulers. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
We ever going to find one that people are just like, yep, that's it?
I don't know.
The Music City Muscle. I will give people credit. They're coming up with a lot of different names. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's worth a try. Something will stick.
JC in Goodlettsville saying, this is bad, but the Eastie Boys, East Nashville Beastie Boys. I think we're going to pass on that one.
Actually, I kind of like
Joe
that
loves his Beastie Boys. I knew he would like that one.
Oh, man. Let's go back to the text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Coy in Clarksville texting in says, Bleacher Report rated us number 1 in the NFL, but also said if we're number 1 by default, 5 wins in a row against playoff teams, why so much hate? Again, I don't think the Titans are either number 1 or number 2 on pretty much everybody's list this week. I don't think there's much hate.
Never. I mean, I've never seen more power rankings or more interest in power rankings than this year. Maybe it's because
it's unbelievable.
Maybe it's because the Titans are near the top and like they have a case to be like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah,
but it's incredible. Like, when did power rankings start in the NFL? It can't be that long ago.
Oh, it's been around for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like a while meaning what? Like who first did it? ESPN 10 years ago, maybe?
It's probably more than 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, we love our rankings. We love our nicknames. We love our rankings.
We do.
But I don't think there's a lot of hate for the Titans right now. I mean, sure, you get the random, like, Keyshawn, this is not a real 8-2 team. But even that, like, again, you take out a team's best player, you don't think that, like, that should matter or that people are going to notice?
Hey, they're number 1.
Right. And there's still 1 or 2 in every list that I've seen.
Nate on the text line, you have to keep it simple. We're the Titans, so the defense should simply be called the Battle Axe. We're going to pass on that one.
The Battle Axe?
The Battle Axe.
So first of all, by the way, so to be clear, this is not, as I understand it, like tickle monsters or whatever else. Like, I'm talking about the pass rush, not the entire defense.
Right.
So
like, this is not
the corners.
Titans defense have been good. Nobody's going to confuse them for the 85 Bears out there, right?
Right. The thing about the defense that is exceptional is the pass rush.
Correct.
So that's who gets the nickname.
We'll come back. We'll be joined by Predators assistant coach Todd Richards. That's up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Saturday night.
He goes across, and what a stop is made there by Saros on Kane.
The Nashville Predators conclude their Eastern Conference road trip taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Pre-game at 5, face-off at 6 on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Get a king bed for a queen price at Mattress Firm and save up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's.
Celebrate Thanksgiving with Social Furniture and save up to 70% off all furniture. They have sofas, sectionals with chase lounge, and recliners that are all push-button electric and wall away. They have all colors to choose from for your comfort watching any hockey game. All of them are plus leather, microfiber, and Chanel's. They have same-day delivery with no down payments and no interest. Forget the big box store. Support local. Support social. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Middle Tennessee, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, we're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and trusted by thousands of homeowners in our community. Our team is ready to assist with all your home maintenance projects, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, appliance service, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-567-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
No need to stand in line waiting for the deals this year. Black Friday shopping starts early at Electronic Express. Huge savings on 4K TVs, computers, laptops, tablets, speakers, headphones, and more. Upgrade your kitchen just in time for Thanksgiving with up to 40% off all appliances. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. It's already Black Friday shopping season at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Sidebar is the in-house cocktail bar at the Boat Hotel in downtown Nashville and is a one-of-a-kind bar experience, serving cocktails, beer, wine, and bar bites. Join 102.5 The Game Sunday, November 28th at the Sidebar in the Boat Hotel to watch your Titans take on the New England Patriots as the Two-Tone Blue march towards the AFC playoffs. Come hang out with the game and enter to win Preds tickets, a 2-night stay at the Boat Hotel, and other prizes. The Boat is located at 401 2nd Avenue South in Sobro. Tighten up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fansville, a college football utopia. Fansville. Where the lakes are stocked with ice-cold Dr. Pepper, and the autumn winds rustle with the sweet smell of football glory. And Dr. Pepper. It's a land flowing with onion dip, where even the food pyramid is shaped like a hot dog. Footlong. Where every yard gained is a yard worth celebrating, and every celebration is beyond excessive. With ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Return to glory this season with Fansville by Dr. Pepper. Grab some today.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Pablo Torre, host of ESPN Daily, where every morning we present the best sports story of the day. And ESPN Daily is presented by Supercuts. Supercuts is the perfect way to get a haircut if you're someone who doesn't have time for a haircut. You just check in on the Supercuts app or you walk in for a quality cut. The highly trained stylists at Supercuts can always give you that fresh cut feeling fast. And it's not just any haircut, it's Supercuts. Check in now on the Supercuts app or on supercuts.com.
Saturday afternoon.
Caught, touchdown, Middle Tennessee.
It's senior day for Murfreesboro as the MTSU Blue Raiders host Old Dominion in Conference USA play. Coverage begins at 1:30
on ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, it's Mike Greenberg, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's time to go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Preds assistant coach Todd Richards. Todd, what's going on? How are we doing?
Good morning, guys.
We appreciate you taking time to join us. Todd, first off, it's great to talk to you. How are you feeling? I know, obviously, a health scare a few weeks ago. How's everything going for you?
Yeah, no. I would say I'm somewhat back to normal. I feel pretty good. It was a bit of a health scare, and had to deal with some things and change some things in my life. But feeling good and excited to be back behind the bench and coaching and watching some good hockey.
Well, we're glad that you're back with us and back with us here this year on the show. So, Todd, what have you made of the recent stretch from your team thus far? Obviously, it didn't go the way you wanted to the other night in Toronto, but prior to that, pretty good stretch of hockey from your group the last 10 games.
It has been. If you look at kind of every facet of the game, working from the goalie out, we've been getting some solid goaltending, and even up in Toronto, the game that we lost, Juice gave us a chance to win the game. He was very, very good in that game. And, then you get into our special teams. Special teams have been good. Power play's been, scoring goals and chipping in and building some momentum, even if they aren't scoring. So it's a little bit easier to follow up shifts after power plays. Our penalty kill, despite giving up some goals, has been pretty good as well. And then, our 5-on-5, we've been solid. We've been getting contributions. We have to be a 4-line team. And we've been getting that. Every line's been chipping in, whether it's offensive production or whether it's a style of play that we need to be where, certain guys are bringing some real positive energy to the bench and to the arena. And, even making other teams adjust to how they have to play and even making teams adjust to, who's going to be in the lineup on any given night. So we've been getting contributions from kind of every facet and every person on our team, which is what we have to do to have success.
Just off the last game, Todd, what's the takeaway? what's the big message to the team after that? Obviously, some chances early. Tomasino had a couple really nice chances, but not a ton after that. What's the adjustment from that?
Yeah, well, it's something that we'll talk about today. Yesterday, because of the schedule and the Ottawa game being canceled, I'm sitting here right now looking at downtown Montreal instead of getting ready for a game today. So yesterday was a day off. We're going to practice now today, practice tomorrow, and get ready for Saturday's game. And it's something we haven't, because it was a day off yesterday, it's something that we're going to be getting together as coaches here in the next half hour and really break down the game and get into different things. But I think you're right with how you saw the game. It was a great start for us. Really liked the way we started. Moved the puck well. We were skating. You have to give Toronto credit, and really any opposition. It doesn't matter what sport you're playing. You're playing against opponents who are trying to do the same thing you are, and they're a talented group. And we kind of lost our game a little bit. They found theirs, and we really weren't able to get it back as much as we wanted to. And as I said, Juice kept us in it. It was 1-0, until late in the third period. So we were still one shot away, but coming out of the game and going through it the way I go through it, there's, some good things, but not enough of them.
Todd, you've obviously been around a lot of very talented defensemen in your career. How do you kind of put into words what Roman Josi has meant to your club, what he's done for your club so far this early into the season?
Well, you know what? You guys see, the on-ice stuff that he does, and we get to kind of see the behind-the-scenes stuff too, and just the leader that he is and the impact that he has on his teammates. And, obviously on the ice he has that. He's a player that you have to, if you're going into a game and you're the opponent, you have to pay attention to him. You have to point out to him that, this is one of the guys that, if not the main guy that really makes this team go. And, you're almost devising up a little bit of a game plan to try to, nullify him from the games, because that's what he does. He finds those opportunities where offensively he can go and he can contribute. But, the stuff that we see behind the scenes is, number one, the type of person that he is, and then just how he, carries himself in the locker room, how he, gets everybody involved with the team, and, just being a really good leader. So he means a lot to this team, and he means a lot to this organization.
Todd, you mentioned being in Montreal, and obviously I know you guys would rather be playing Ottawa tonight, but 2 practices in a row, I imagine that doesn't happen too often in a normal 82-game season.
No, it does not. It does not happen.
How beneficial could that be? I guess, are you guys looking forward to that and what it could, how it could help you guys?
Well, it's also a little bit of rest, and it's just it's a physical rest for the players, where they can take a breath. But I think emotional and just mental too, because just those breaks that you need in the season. And, you get some at, at Christmas, you only get a couple days, and we'll get obviously, some of us will get a great break in February when the Olympics hit. But there's still going to be some players that are going to be heading over there, and that's going to be, another emotional roller coaster for a lot of those guys going over there, physical and mental and all that. But I think it's just the break where guys can take a breath. They can relax from the game, and, they can enjoy each other on the road, go out and have a nice dinner. They can joke around with each other, in the mornings while they're having a coffee. And but as coaches, it's nice because you're always, no matter how well you get your game, and we've been going pretty well, there's always things you have to repair in your game. You might be slipping here, and and then you deal with that problem, and sure enough, your team game slips here in another area, and it's just things that you're constantly repairing, and finding practices where you can work on specific things, especially days off, where you can have a good hard practice and get some battles going, and and working on some things that really entail that, box outs out front of the net where actually guys have to get into each other. Sometimes before games you don't want to get into that too much because it's a little bit too draining. So when you do have a couple days off now, I think you can get a little bit more specific and detailed on a couple things that maybe sometimes during the grind of the regular season you just don't want to practice.
Preds assistant coach Todd Richards on the line with us, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. So, Todd, obviously, I mean, with Ekholm and Yossi there, those two guys get a lot of attention. I'm curious for your thoughts on Mark Borowiecki and what he's brought to the table for you guys so far this season with the physical play and just his presence back there as a veteran defenseman.
I'll tell you what, yeah. And again, I'll get more into, kind of what you guys see, and you're right. Just a great physical element on the back end, great energy, what he provides our team. You know what, and what you guys don't see and what you guys don't hear is just, again, the type of person that he is on the bench and in the locker room. He's just got a great attitude. I think he loves playing the game. He loves being around the game, and you really get that feeling back from him. When you're talking to him about a shift, you're talking to him about a play, but he gives that same energy to his teammates. He's always encouraging, and he will play in certain situations he doesn't play. But the one thing that he does is he's always a positive, good teammate to everyone around him. So again, he's a guy that brings a lot of he brings a lot of energy on the ice, but he brings a lot of positive energy to our room, and then you get around him, you can feel that.
Yeah, well, of course, we had Mark on not too long ago, and of course he's been so open about his journey too, with mental health and
yep.
the thing, which I think is obviously a great thing to the public, in terms of when you have people with platforms like this who are willing to talk about these things. I think that helps people. I'm wondering, like, does that also behind the scenes with you guys? Is that something that's discussed? Do you feel like that he has also maybe impacted guys positively because of that aspect of his life?
Well, you know that he has, and it takes a lot of courage for somebody to come out and publicly talk about that, especially the states that these guys are on, and really it's anybody that out in the world. So you're seeing a lot of that right now, in different sports, different fields, careers. People are showing a lot of courage and kind of putting themselves out there so they can help other people, and it doesn't surprise me knowing Mark. That, number one, the way he plays, you can see he's very courageous in how he plays. It takes a lot to stand in, just the other night in Toronto, a guy was taking a slap shot from the point on the power play. And, that the puck's coming hard, and, if you get hit, it's probably going to hurt. And, he's a guy that's going to stand in there and take that puck to the body, and he did that. It takes a lot of courage to do that, and I think you get a lot of respect from that when you sit on the bench and you watch that, or you sit in the stands and you watch that. And then, you also have that same respect for him, knowing that, publicly some of the struggles that he had, he's making public because he wants to help himself and he wants to help other people. And again, that takes a lot of courage. So it's not surprising with him. Again, that's a great thing that I'm around every day. And there are some guys in this sport, and I think you find it every day in life, where you don't have a lot of time, but they're very, very few and far between. And I'm talking over a 30-year career. It's only about 5 guys. And, the guys on this team, and especially Mark, these guys, you really enjoy being around them just because of the type of people that they are.
Preds assistant coach Todd Richards has been our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. Todd, really appreciate you taking time to join us this morning, and good luck coming up on Saturday against Montreal.
Okay, my pleasure, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Todd.
Preds assistant coach Todd Richards, our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. Borowiecki, the mental health part of this, obviously, he was really open with that to Adam Vingan earlier this offseason, open to that with us when we had him on the show a few weeks ago. But on the ice, I think he's been pretty good so far from what they've asked him to do.
Also, don't tangle with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
My goodness, the uppercut.
Yeah, that was quite something. A lot of guys on this Predators team that probably wouldn't mess with out there. And the rest of the NHL
is different.
Yeah,
Very different from not long ago.
Yeah, yes it is. We'll continue the conversation on the Predators when we come back. We welcome your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Looking at clearing skies this afternoon, temperatures topping out in the upper 40s and lower 50s. This will leave us, though, with perfect viewing conditions for tonight's partial lunar eclipse.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Hillside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Hillside Medical Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 615-576-5000.
Hey, it's me, Chase McCabe, and I am here to tell you about my friends at BetMGM and why they're the king of sportsbooks. They welcome you with the lock of the year. All you have to do is place a $10 moneyline wager on either New England or Atlanta. If either one of those teams scores a touchdown, you'll win $200 in free bets, regardless of your bet's outcome. All you have to do is use the bonus code 1025GAME200 when you make your first bet. Enjoy football like never before with BetMGM's live betting options and boosted odds specials at your fingertips all season long. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com. Use that code 1025GAME200 to win $200 in free bets if either New England or Atlanta scores a touchdown. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Tennessee only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem in Nashville like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state, based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Jared Stillman.
This show, if you're a listener to it, I think is educated enough to know what a good general manager is.
And company.
At the end of the day, wins really are all that matters.
Tune in Stillman and Company for your drive home. Delivered by TriStar Moving. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Robby and Rexrode is on ESPN 1025 The Game.
ESPN 94.9 is the official English radio home of the Nashville Soccer Club. Tune in on Tuesday, November 23rd as the 3-seed Nashville SC faces 6-seed Orlando City SC in the first round of the Audi MLS playoffs at Nissan Stadium. Pregame starts at 6:45 and the match begins at 7 o'clock. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube today and every day. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Robby and Rexrode brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, conveniently serving Middle Tennessee with 13 locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Thanks to Todd Richards for joining us in the last segment. Let's go to our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Nate texting in. I can't remember who said it, whether it be a Game Nashville host or an interviewee, but I think the 2 days off could be a good thing. Like Coach Richard said, guys can kind of relax outside of practice. It gives them a physical and mental break. And we have highlighted mental health nowadays being a big thing in sports, so I think this is beneficial. Yes, there's an Olympic break in early 2022, but we all need a break, even if it's one day every now and then from the working grind. I'm interested to see how they come out Saturday and if they look refreshed and recharged. Yeah, I was on with Darren Donica Chase yesterday. You know, the game obviously didn't go very well for the Predators, and if not for UC Saros, that one could have been pretty ugly the other night against Toronto. To me, the mark of a good team is how do you respond after a game like that. I mean, we see, look, it's an 82-game season. You're going to go through some ruts. I have seen Tampa Bay the last couple of years get absolutely shelled on some nights.
Oh, yeah.
They come back, usually respond pretty well. Interested to see what sort of response we see for the Predators against a Montreal Canadiens team that, quite frankly, is not very good coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess you expect sometimes these bad performances. I don't even know if it was a pretty bad performance. They got handled in that game. A lot of times you see those on the back to back. They had some rest going into it, but also I actually think Toronto might be all right. We'll see in the playoffs, but it's a good team. So I was disappointed in the offense that they weren't able to generate for a lot of the game, but. Yeah, I expect him to bounce back. By the way, real quick, just because it's right behind you right now, the Get Up crew has just asked which team wins AFC. Louis Riddick, Diana Rossini going with the Titans. Bart Scott, Damian Wooding going with the Bills. So that seems to be the two most popular teams.
No love for the Chiefs.
To win. No love for the Chiefs.
Yeah. You want to know the craziest stat in hockey this year that I didn't, realize until yesterday? The New York Islanders have not played a home game yet. They're 13 games in.
How?
They've not played a home game. They're opening up their new building.
They got the new building
coming up on Saturday. So they have begun the season 13 straight games on the road. Now, it's been pretty spread out for them, so it's not like, you just constantly been traveling. Like before they came here, they had 5 days off at home. And then after they came here, they had another 3 days off. So they've been home a lot. They just haven't played at home yet. But it's pretty incredible. Not played a home game yet.
Wow.
13 games on the road.
How is that new building looking, by the way?
I don't know. Go find out this weekend.
It couldn't possibly be better than Nassau Coliseum, could it?
No, it couldn't.
Legendary building.
Yeah. Interested to see how that goes. But, hey, congratulations to the Islanders on getting back home. Playing a home game coming up.
That's a lot of traveling. They are, and, they could use some home cooking at 5, 6, and 2.
Yeah, I would say so. Got a lot of people still texting in names for the Titans defensive front.
What was the one you said earlier? The brass monkey?
Sack monkey.
Sack junkie.
Sack junkie, yes.
Sack junkie.
Joe loves that.
What do you do after
monkey, that? Junkie.
Yeah.
I'm in. Play the,
You're going to start calling him sack junkie every time they get a sack?
Junkie. Kyle Tucker texted me and said he likes 300. They already do the the 300 thing for the movie.
It's not my least favorite.
The 300.
Yeah.
I think that's my number one of what
I feel like in nicknames we've got too much adding up stuff. Adding up numbers. You know what I mean?
I hear you for sure. However, it is crazy that it adds up to 300.
It is.
Isn't it? A little bit. And it's also, it's the voice
it is.
who comes up with it. So,
yeah.
It's a thought.
Somebody voting for the SWAT squad. I think these names we're getting off the rails a little bit.
It's just a lot of attempted alliteration. I mean, it is alliteration, but it doesn't have to be alliteration.
The two-toned tornado. The Gods of War. I don't know what's going on here.
Gods of War. Oh. It's a nice Def Leppard song from 1987. Hey, I like the effort though.
The Vray parts.
The Vray parts.
I don't hate that. Just flash that movie poster up that Dennis made yesterday on the Jumbotron at Nissan Stadium on Sunday and call it a day.
I mean, that thing should be on the Jumbotron.
Should be.
Like the Titans should be looking to pay him to take that and use it.
I don't know. I'm interested to see, whether or not Bud Dupree can go. Number one, that's the most interesting part of the front four to me coming up. But how much can you get after Tyrod Taylor on Sunday with this abysmal offensive line that he's playing in front of? Should be a pretty good day or a pretty good opportunity for the Titans coming up on Sunday to get after the quarterback.
You would think so. I would guess no Bud Dupree. I mean, he's a DNP yesterday, but hey, I mean, I also thought that maybe he was lost for the season, so don't listen to me. But even without him, you got a chance to pad the stats. Which, by the way, of course, the Titans. You're talking about 19 sacks last year, and what the heck are they now? Have they hit 30 yet? They're well into the 20s now.
Yeah.
So they're on their way to a 40-plus sack season.
Andrew from Dover texting in, what 3 teams in the NFL do you think will clinch the first playoff spots? So the 3 teams to clinch first. There are 3 teams that immediately come to mind for me.
Why are we picking 3?
That's just the number he was given.
Okay.
The Titans will be one of the 3. The other 2, I believe, will be the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. I think they'll be the first 3 to clinch. Packers division is awful.
Yeah, so you're talking about all of them. Yeah, all of them clinching the division.
Playoff spot. Yeah. I mean, the Packers play the Vikings on Sunday. If they win that game, they're 4.5 games up in the division with, I think, 7 games left. It's going to be over with pretty quickly. Cowboys the same way. Cowboys division is awful, so they're going to clinch. And the Titans, I think they're going to clinch pretty. So those are my 3: Cowboys, Packers, Titans.
Yeah, that's probably about right. And this is now. I think the Vikings have a chance against your Packers, but that would still just be prolonging it. Even if
they got a chance.
They got a chance at home, but those are probably pretty good guesses.
Right now, the Packers favored by 2.5. So, not a big line. Chip from Mount Juliet texts again. Got to love Joe's music references. Gods of War, Def Leppard. I like it.
That's right, baby.
A lot of people from Mount Juliet don't really care for you all that much on the text line. Bob from Mount Juliet, not a big fan of you.
Now, why is Bob?
Chip
thank you, Chip. Why is Bob mad at me?
I don't know.
I thought that was the Ben Affleck thing.
Well, there's a lot of people mad at him about Ben Affleck. Bob's still mad on Twitter. Different Bob.
Oh God, yeah. He kept sending me. He sent me like a GIF of Affleck walking as Batman, and I was like, even that walk right there was terrible acting.
Matt from Camden texting in. What about the Beastie Boys and play Sabotage after a sack? What do you think of that?
Hey, I'm liking all the Beastie Boys stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other Beastie Boys references that could be. I mean, who? Let's see. Who would be King Ad Rock? Problem is you have 4 guys. So, but DJ Hurricane. So that's your 4th. Or someone could be Biz Markie, who was often with the Beastie Boys. Rest in peace. I like revolving around the Beastie Boys. It's not going to stick, but I mean, I'm just a fan of it. I think the 300 is the leader in the clubhouse.
Joe, very quickly, this is an interesting question. From a Titans standpoint, who are you guys rooting for in the Colts and Bills game? Who should Titans fans be rooting for in that game? Do you want to just see the Colts totally put on the back burner for the division, or do you want to make sure the Bills have another loss?
Here's my answer. As long as the Titans beat the Texans, then you absolutely are rooting for the Colts in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans would have to completely collapse, okay? I mean, completely collapse to not win the division. They have a 4-game, really, lead because they swept the Colts. So if the Titans go, let's say they have 7 games left. Let's say the Titans go 2-5, okay, the rest of the way, which would be terrible.
Yeah.
So that'd be 10-7. I mean, the Colts still would have to go 6-1 to win the division. Yep. They're not going to go 6-1.
No.
So, and the Titans aren't going to go 2-5. The division is over, barring something crazy. So. Root for now. If the Titans lose to the Texans at home Sunday, I guess you can say, where could this go? It could go any which way. And then maybe it's like, you know what, just win the AFC South and get in and hope you get Derrick Henry back. But I would say definitely root for the Colts.
When we come back, we'll be joined by our good friend Sheil Kapadia from The Athletic. We'll get his thoughts on the Titans and all things NFL coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Did you see the Tennessee Titans? He has all the weapons to make it happen.
There's so much to pay attention to. Greeny from 9 to 11.
Ryan Tannehill is the most disrespected player.
Art and Han from 11 to 2.
You never stop punching. They've got to learn how to close the deal.
And the Paul Feinbaum Show afternoons from 2 to 6.
Are these legitimate contenders to the party?
Your exclusive home for ESPN Radio in the Music City.
ESPN
94.9 and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Time for the Birds Report.
Changed plans are a large part of life in this COVID world, particularly in the National Hockey League. Predators, well, after their loss in Toronto on Tuesday night, would be preparing tonight for a game tomorrow in Ottawa against the Senators. But COVID has intervened there, and that game has been indefinitely postponed. So the Predators stay on the road and moved on to Montreal, where they will play their next game, and that will be on Saturday night in the Bell Center against the Canadiens. Meantime, the Canadiens struggling 1-4-2 in their last 7 games, coming off a very contentious loss at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday to the New York Rangers 3-2, host the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. So Saturday night is game action, Hockey Night in Canada, 5 o'clock the pregame, 6 o'clock the game. This is Pete Weber reporting.
For exclusive, in-depth coverage of your Nashville Predators, this is Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game.
It's back. Family Leisure's Ultimate Game Room Sale is back.
Okay, so what's that mean?
That means huge discounts, up to 50% off on all kinds of game room furniture and accessories.
Like what?
Up to 50% off on slate pool tables from Brunswick and Legacy Billiards. Prices start as low as $14.99 installed, plus the matching bars and game tables. Even poker tables to complete our game room are on sale as well. The guaranteed largest selection and lowest prices in the Mid-South.
Wow, perfect for Christmas.
Family Leisure is also featuring huge savings on massage chairs and home theater seating. Full body massage chairs starting at only $9.99. And the top of the line 40 massage chair is more than half off at $29.99.
What about the theater seating?
Family Leisure guarantees to be half off anyone's home theater seating. 3-piece recliner sets start at only $9.99. Full power recline real leather seats are only $19.99.
That's great. And they have stand-up and desktop arcade games with over 600 games, shuffleboards, foosball, and air hockey tables.
It really is the Ultimate Game Room Sale.
The Ultimate Game Room Sale going on now at both locations, Franklin and Antioch.
Family and fun come together.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah! The big dog's got it.
Craneworks is ready to help lift Nashville. As the Southeast's most trusted name in crane and equipment rental for over 30 years, Craneworks offers certified operators to make sure the job is done right. Rentalworks has a diverse fleet of equipment to assist in any project, big or small. From forklifts to carry deck cranes, they have it all. When it's time for your next lift, machinery moving, or rigging project, call Craneworks. Visit Craneworks.com.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem in Nashville like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. It's Robby and Rexrode with Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3 of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. Brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions right here. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And we are pleased to go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in our friend Sheil Kapadia from The Athletic. Sheil, what's going on? Thanks for taking time to join us.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me. How's it going?
We're doing great. Hope you are as well. And Sheil, obviously lots of excitement around here in the Nashville area about the Titans, 8-2 right now in first place in the AFC. They have lost Derrick Henry, but have managed to win a couple of games without him. What have been your impressions of the Titans so far this year, especially the last couple of weeks and what they've been able to do without Derrick Henry?
Well, I think they're in great shape because you look at the AFC playoff picture, and they've got that 2-win lead on every other team, and they've got the easiest remaining schedule in the entire NFL. I mean, if you take care of business against the Texans, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, you're already at 12 wins there. And so to me, the key is getting that number 1 seed. I mean, getting that bye and home field throughout is such a huge advantage now that only one team has a bye. So that's got to be the focus now. It's not going to be easy. I think there's going to be some ugly games like we saw last week against the Saints. I mean, if you look at the offense, the last 2 weeks, I think 33 first downs. They haven't exactly been lighting it up there without Derrick Henry. So there are going to be some bumps in the road. So to me, offensively, they're kind of in survival mode. You know, they've got to figure out a way to hit on some more explosive plays. I think they've only got 2 completions of 20-plus yards in their last 2 games. So it doesn't always have to look pretty, but they've got to find a way to produce those explosive plays. And then defensively, their defense has really been a revelation this year. I mean, really one of the most improved units in the entire NFL. And with the way those guys are playing up front, specifically Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Harold Landry, it doesn't have to be too complicated. You know, rush with 4, play coverage in the back, don't give up big plays, produce some turnovers, and they should be pretty good there. So I think they're not a juggernaut. You know, I'm not saying go book your Super Bowl tickets quite yet, but I do think they're in good shape in the AFC.
Well, you deal with that and a lot of great things as always, Sheil, in the Week 10 reality check. A couple teams that I think are, I guess, surging. Right? In this AFC, it only takes a week sometimes for it to feel like a surge, I guess. It's so all over the map. But the Chiefs and the Patriots. And the Patriots, it has been a build here to what they are. What you write about their offensive line and how special it could be. And then obviously we all saw the Chiefs look like the Chiefs in Vegas. What about those two teams? Where do they fit into this AFC picture in your mind right now?
Yeah, with the Chiefs, I kind of just kept waiting. You know, I looked at it, I said, hey, Mahomes is healthy, the offensive line is fine, Kelsey's healthy, Hill's healthy, Andy Reid is still there. Like, there's got to be a chance that they're going to figure this out at some point. Now, it was only one game Sunday night against the Raiders, but that certainly looked like the old Chiefs where you have Mahomes throwing for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And so I'm still a little bit in wait-and-see mode. You know, I think their struggles earlier in the season were legit. I don't think they were completely fluky or anything like that, so I want to see more of them, but certainly they have that ceiling. I mean, no one wants to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. They still have the best player in the NFL. They still have that ceiling to be the most explosive offense in the NFL. So let's see what they do Sunday against the Cowboys and then in future weeks here. I think they're going to be there in the postseason. In the end, I'm not quite sure what version of the Chiefs we're going to get. And the Patriots, you know, I thought they were a little bit overrated, to be honest, for most of the season. They had beat up on the Jets a couple times. They had beat up on some teams that weren't exactly great competition. But what they did last week against the Browns, that certainly made me rethink that viewpoint. You know, I thought Mac Jones, they're not putting everything on his plate, but, man, he made some high degree of difficulty throws in that game. Their offensive line is healthy now, and so they're going to put him in position to succeed, and the defense has been pretty consistent all season long. So, yeah, I think the Patriots, certainly the arrow is pointing up here.
Sheil Kapadia from The Athletic on the line with us, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Sheil, obviously there's a lot of really good teams in the NFC at the top of the NFC right now. If you had to identify one as your team to beat in the NFC, who would it be?
Oof, that's a tough one. I've been waffling a little bit, but you know what? Let's go out on a limb here, I guess, a little bit. And I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys. When you look at the team that sort of week in and week out, that one game against the Broncos aside, they've just been so consistent offensively, and they've got so many answers. I like teams that can win in a variety of ways, and I think the Cowboys can do that. I think Dak Prescott's been playing as well as any quarterback in the NFL. They've got weapons for him. They've got the offensive line. They've got the run game if they want to go to that. And then defensively, I was not expecting this at all from their defense, but they played really well. They haven't just been mediocre. They've actually been above average. They've been really good. And so I like that Cowboys team a lot. Now, if you gave me like 10 minutes or, if I thought about changing my mind, the team would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know they're coming off that loss last week, but obviously you still got to believe in kind of the infrastructure there with Brady. I mean, a lot of the things I said about the Cowboys really apply to the Bucs, and that they could win in a variety of ways. And so I think they're going to be right there in the end. I think they've got to get a little bit healthier and a little bit better on defense. But those are kind of the two teams that really stand out to me.
Well, and if the Cowboys keep that up, maybe that helps. Maybe that helps inform this question. But MVP right now, I can't figure it out. Of course, around here, it's like, man, Derrick Henry might actually be in position here, given just sort of the lack of an obvious. I think there's a lot of good candidates, but there's no one right now who's really stepping up and seizing it. Who do you like for that, and also NFL Coach of the Year, Sheil?
Yeah, with MVP, I think I wrote a piece for kind of the mid-season on The Athletic, and I had Kyler Murray then, but obviously he's missed 2 games. I'm not counting him out of it. I do think he was kind of putting that team on his back during that hot stretch they had. So if he comes back this week and gets hot, he certainly could be the guy. Dak Prescott absolutely could be the guy. Tom Brady, I mean, if you look at Brady's numbers, like, he could easily throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. I mean, he could break multiple records. We kind of take it for granted, week to week. And again, last week was not his best week, but if we zoom out a little bit and look at what he's done, he's got to be in the mix there a little bit. So those are some of the names that come to mind. And the sleeper would probably be Josh Allen. He hasn't done it. I don't think they've been the most impressive offense so far, but if you kind of look at their remaining schedule and what he could potentially do, I think certainly he's the guy who would be in the mix. So if you're asking me right now, I might go for Dak Prescott because I do think they've been a great team, and I do think he's been very consistent. So he would be certainly a name in the mix. Coach of the Year, I absolutely think Mike Vrabel's got to be in the conversation. I mean, they lose their offensive coordinator, and they're sitting here at 8-2. They lose Derrick Henry for a couple games, and so what they've done defensively and just finding a way to win games, he's somebody I would absolutely put in the mix. And I'm not sleeping on Sean Payton. I mean, I know they're not the most fun watch every week. They're not the most impressive team, but man, I did not think they were going to be able to be even this competitive, and to trot Trevor Siemian out there and still almost beat the Titans on the road. Like, if they get into the playoffs, I'm going to have a hard time saying that's not the most impressive coaching job I've seen this year.
Sheil Kapadia from The Athletic has been our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. Sheil, appreciate so much you taking time to join us today.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Sheil Kapadia does a great job covering the NFL for The Athletic.
Peyton is a good call, and honestly, as we've talked about these things, probably should have been mentioning him because it's true. I mean, you look at all they've gone through and just what they were supposed to have this year if they get in the playoffs, and that's a big if. You can't lose games at home to Atlanta too much, stuff like that, and get in the playoffs, but they might get in, and that would have to make him a contender.
Yeah, it would. I still, he brings up Dak Prescott for the MVP, Brady. Like, Brady is, I know it didn't go well for him last week, but he is probably going to throw for 50 touchdowns this year at the age of 44.
50-ish. Yeah.
62.
Yeah.
He truly is the Pharaoh.
Well, that's true. I mean, and it depends on them. Because obviously they've hit a rough patch, but we all remember last year that they hit a rough patch and they were just fine.
They're going to be okay.
They're going to be fine. If they end hot and those numbers stay the same, he might just sneak up and grab this thing like the The Sphinx. Like
The
the
Sphinx?
My gosh, the Sphinx.
We'll come back. We'll react a little bit to what Sheil had to say there. Take your thoughts as well on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Attention men, have you been struggling with erectile dysfunction? Well, Hillside Medical Clinic has a breakthrough treatment for ED that does not require any pills, injections, or surgery. Right now, Andrew from Hillside Medical Clinic joins me to tell us all about it. Andrew, what's going on?
Hello there. That's right. We are helping men with erectile dysfunction from age 20 to age 90, frankly. Men are sick of the pills. They're sick of going to the pharmacy, and they're sick of not as much blood flow as they used to have. Our technology at Hillside Medical Clinic, called wave therapy, is clinically proven to open up and regrow blood vessels. So just think about it. More blood flow in the bedroom, where you want it, when you want it, without the use of chemicals.
So, Andrew, what kinds of clinical studies have been done on this technology?
If you go to hillsidemedicalclinic.com, you can read almost 50 clinical studies. Cambridge University even vetted our technology, showed it to be safe and effective. It has been called the new standard of care for erectile dysfunction.
And, Andrew, you have a special offer if our listeners call in right now.
A lot of value. If you're ready to get your game back in the bedroom, call us now. The assessment exam and blood flow ultrasound will be free. You can leave your wallet at home, by the way. Plus a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You will love it. Worth hundreds of dollars. We're doing it free to callers now.
You heard it, guys. You can put a stop to your erectile dysfunction by treating the root cause of the problem. Call Hillside Medical Clinic right now to qualify for that offer at 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Put a stop to your ED and regain your love life. Call Hillside Medical Clinic right now at 615-576-5000.
That's the way to win. Took everybody, we found a way to win. Let's go. Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Red Hot Titans sit atop the AFC with an 8-2 record.
It is pretty incredible that they just continue to find ways to win.
Your home of the best Titans coverage.
This is how the Titans are going to have to win games.
Is Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Now at Lowe's, order any flooring like Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet, starting at $185 per square foot. See in-store associate or product detail page for warranty information.
It's not just about being in your community. It's about being your community. Come experience the all-new state-of-the-art Volunteer State Bank, second Murfreesboro location at 2019 Memorial Boulevard. Volunteer State Bank offers personalized services like banking for professionals, free Kasasa checking, the convenience of mobile banking, and the money you need when you need it. Visit one of our 13 locations or online at volstatebank.com. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No need to stand in line waiting for the deals this year. Black Friday shopping starts early at Electronic Express. Huge savings on 4K TVs, computers, laptops, tablets, speakers, headphones, and more. Upgrade your kitchen just in time for Thanksgiving with up to 40% off all appliances. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. It's already Black Friday shopping season at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
What's up, everybody? This is Teron Davenport, and I am here to tell you about Freedom Tire Guys. They're Nashville's premier mobile tire service. New tires, rotating, balancing, flat repair, torquing, they do it all. I can tell you this from personal experience. Just a couple weeks ago, I was at the Titans facility. They came there and changed my tires, all 4 of them. They did an excellent job. My car is riding extra smooth now. If you're in need of tire service, be sure to check them out at freedomtireguys.com. If you don't see the tires you want, they'll go ahead and get it for you.
Since being the first to make wiper blades over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in any weather. We're always looking ahead, studying your specific driving conditions so you'll be ready for anything. Like, if it actually rains cats and dogs, you can handle every soggy Siamese and drenched Doberman. Your Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact for safe, clear driving visibility, whatever the weather. Trico, the future of wipers since 1917. Visit TricoCatsAndDogs.com.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
If you've missed any of today's show, just search Robby and Rexrode on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Tune in to the NFL Game of the Week on 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Red Spirits and Wine in Bellevue. The Game of the Week this Sunday on 102.5 The Game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Kansas City Chiefs with a 3:25 p.m. kickoff. Welcome back in. Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Thanks to Sheil Kapadia for joining us in the last segment. Dennis on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, the Kansas City Cheeks. The Kansas City Cheeks. Is this what we're going to call them? Patrick Mahomes and company from now on, especially if they lose this game.
They were Cheeks before this last week.
They were. I'm still not 100% convinced that they're all of a sudden back.
Yeah, I want to see it again.
I want to see it again. It looked they looked a lot like the Chiefs the other night. Now, how much of that is them? How much of that is, I almost called them Oakland, Las Vegas.
The Raiders.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out.
But the much larger sample size is still of the Chiefs being very good. You know, not this year, but overall. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's see it some more. I think probably they're going to get in the tournament, just like Sheil said, and not necessarily a team you're going to relish playing in that thing. If they've got some things figured out.
We're going to be joined by Nashville SC defender Walker Zimmerman coming up at 8:30. So looking forward to that conversation here in about 10 minutes or so. Right now, taking your thoughts on the Titans on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Andrew from Dover texting in. Did y'all see the stat that Derrick Henry is tied for most rushing yards this season and hasn't played since Week 8? This is coming from Andrew from Dover.
Yep. They'll finally catch him at some point. A few weeks into his absence. Pretty amazing.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor probably going to win the rushing title now if he could stay healthy. Would be my guess.
Yep.
Put him at the leader in the clubhouse. So
the Colts got that going for him.
Yeah.
There's a nice consolation prize.
Yeah, it's I know we've talked about Derrick Henry a lot. It does kind of suck to look back on this and think about what could have been in front of him. Just purely beyond what it means for the Titans. Like, I still think the Titans are going to be okay. They're going to make the playoffs, obviously. They might end up with the 1 seed, and we'll see what happens in terms of his availability. But just in terms of what we were watching and where this season could have put him in terms of the all-time great running back discussion, I mean, he very likely could have gotten 2,000 yards again, could have won an NFL MVP, and it sucks we're not going to be able to see that.
Yeah, it's tough because it is a small window. I mean, I think it'll be I'm sure his window may be a lot bigger than others, but I mean, this is it right now. This is the prime, and we just don't know. He's gonna rehab and he's gonna heal up and come back, but you don't know if this affects him long term. If this has any sort of diminishing effect on him, can't say it. I mean, look, everyone will say you can fully recover from this for sure, but doctors will also tell you it is tricky, especially you think about someone who's 6'3", 250, who does the kind of cutting on his feet that he does. When you have something like this, I mean, it is worrisome.
Mason on YouTube says, I like Sheil. Actually sounds like he watches the games and not just Red Zone, like most NFL media.
Sheil's very good. Sheil's very thorough, and Sheil's a huge advanced stats guy.
Yep.
I'm not huge on that stuff, but he does a good job of making it digestible, making it, making it relatable, to the games you watch. Yeah, very informed.
Who is if you had to pick one team in the NFC right now, who would it be? He's going with the Cowboys, and he said if you gave him 10 minutes, he'd think about the Bucs. Who is your one team right now in the NFC?
I mean, I'm between the Bucs and Packers. I hear him on the Cowboys, and they can win different ways. I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it, but I think ultimately I would go with Rodgers or Brady probably in a big game against that team. And I love the story of Arizona. I still think the Rams, right now the Rams are in there just like the Bucs. They're both a little skid here, but they're going to be there too. and so I just went through 5 teams. But I think I would probably rank it Packers and then Bucks, I think, actually. Because the Packers defense just impresses me.
They have the number 3 defense in the league, which that's a pretty big difference with this group than what they've had the last few years. So, we'll see what happens on that front. I think, to Shields' point, like home field advantage in the playoffs and getting that first-round bye has become pretty big from the standpoint of it's one team in each conference. Now, I realize the Packers had that last year, and Tampa Bay came in there and won. So, Tampa Bay still, I think, is probably the biggest threat to the Packers. But there is a difference in going up to Lambeau in January than going to Jerry World in the controlled environment. When it's -5 in Lambeau, that does make a little bit of a difference.
It does. Didn't hurt Brady last year.
It did not. It does not make a difference
But
to
it
the
does.
Pharaoh.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
played in a few cold weather games before.
He's climate proof.
Does it make you nervous?
He's embalmed and climate proof.
That's right. Does it make you nervous if you're a Titans fan that now everybody's just all over the Titans and the Bills and they're totally ignoring the Chiefs and the Ravens and everybody else after last week? It's a lot of Titans and Bills love today out there. For those who are saying the Titans are being disrespected, I've not seen much of that this week.
No, not at all. And I mean, look, you got to enjoy something. Like if you're always complaining about respect, you can't now get like anxious or nervous because you're getting it. So just enjoy it.
Yeah,
it makes sense right now.
Embrace the love.
I mean, the AFC is just hard to right now. I mean, I was sure that the Browns were going to be a real threat this year.
I can't figure them out.
I can't figure them out. I do think the Patriots are good, but I'm holding off a little bit on that. You know, I do think the Chiefs are probably those would be the 3 teams that I would look at: Chiefs, Bills, and Titans. And the Ravens are still capable of, for all that they've gone through, I think are still capable of making a run too. But then sometimes they look so bad.
Doesn't it kind of feel like with the Ravens that if Lamar is not outstanding in a game, and I don't even mean good, I mean outstanding in a game, that they seem a little limited?
Yeah, their defense has has really taken a step back, and some of that is injuries, but that's where you kind of could always count on them to play at least good defense, although Derrick Henry kind of punched that defense in the mouth a couple years ago, but for the most part, and they did a good job here last year, in that playoff win in Nissan. I mean, good defense, and then the run game, and then if he's good, then they have a good chance of winning. But yeah, now it's like he has to play hero ball for them to win a big playoff game. So I don't know. It's the AFC it's hard. Like, how could you not conclude right now that the Titans are right there, even without Derrick Henry right now?
When we come back, we'll be joined by Nashville SC defender Walker Zimmerman. Looking forward to that conversation with NSC getting the playoffs underway coming up next week. NFL Week 11 is here, and FanDuel Sportsbook wants you to get the most out of every play. That's why they're giving everyone a $10 risk-free bet every single week, and Thursday night, a great opportunity to give it a try. All you got to do is bet a same-game parlay bet with 3 legs or more, and if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel will pay you back up to $10. The Patriots and the Falcons in action tonight. Cordero Patterson questionable in this game. Give me the Patriots on the money line. Give me Mac Jones on the under passing. And give me Matt Ryan on the over passing. But you take it any way you want to take it. Offers like this are why I love betting with FanDuel Sportsbook. It's easy to use. It's America's #1 sportsbook. So if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up today with promo code ROB to also receive 30-1 enhanced odds on either team to win during the Sunday afternoon matchup between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. You can win $150 on a $5 bet. Once again, that promo code is ROB, so they know that I sent you. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. A max refund of $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Same game parlay available for multiple sports in all states on mobile and web. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Hey, this is Phil Forsberg. And this is Smashville.
Forsberg in the circle. He scores! Philip Forsberg! What a rocket!
You're listening to the flagship of the Nashville Predators radio network, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Get a king bed for a queen price at Mattress Firm and save up to $500 on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's.
Now's the time to get a great deal on Kubota construction equipment featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. The Kubota construction lineup shows up ready to work every day. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. This weekend at Genesis, we're hosting the largest luxury pre-owned Rolex event ever held in Tennessee, just in time for the holidays. Genesis has found and purchased a spectacular selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all the hottest models that people wait years for, and we're showcasing them all this weekend. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, rare luxury timepieces you can't find anywhere else. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come early. Get the first pick and get 60 months financing. How about a luxury pre-owned two-tone Submariner for only $299 a month, or a ladies 36mm date just for only $199 a month? Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site, offering top dollar for your luxury pre-owned Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in Tennessee and take advantage of special financing this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your new home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
Hey, it's Jared for TriStar Moving. If you're looking to move, you need to give my friends at TriStar Moving a call. At TriStar Moving, you'll get 5-star service throughout the entire process. Everything will be taken care of, from covering your floors, banisters, railings, front door thresholds, furniture, TVs, and more. They took great care of my move and made it as stress-free as possible. If you're looking to move, give TriStar Moving a call, 615-640-1219, or visit them at nashvillemoving.org/radio and get 5% off your entire move. TriStar Moving, my official movers.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. We're turning your living room into your office and your gym. We're teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Saturday night.
A 20-yard strike, and it's 14-6 the Doors.
Clark Lee's Vanderbilt Commodores have another SEC test when they head south to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. Pre-game at 5. Kickoff at 6:30 on 93.3 Classic Hits and the Classic Hits app.
Hey, this is Pete Weber. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions right here. Remember, FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And the MLS playoffs right around the corner for Nashville SC. And to help us talk more about that, we go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Nashville SC star defender Walker Zimmerman. Walker, what's going on, brother? How we doing?
I'm doing well, man. Just on the way to training. How are you guys?
We are great. We appreciate you taking time to join us this morning. So, Walker, obviously an incredibly successful season this year for your club in the regular season. Now switching gears and putting your attention on the playoffs, and we'll get to that coming up here in just a second. But just from your vantage point, how would you describe what this season was like for your group and the consistency with which you guys were able to play?
I think consistency is a great word. Not many teams can come in as an expansion team and go back-to-back making the playoffs. And then to do so this season, ending in a higher seeded position, giving ourselves a home playoff match again, those things are really important. And so we've seen a lot of growth in our ability to score goals, been solid defensively both these first two seasons. And so now we feel like now we just got to go further in the playoffs and ultimately try and win an MLS Cup.
Yeah, like how different does it feel, Walker, I guess, psychologically going into this postseason? Because there is more, at least outside expectation. Is there anything different internally last year to this year?
I think maybe just confidence a little bit, but you're right. Within the group, we expect to be here, expect to be in the playoffs, certainly even more so this year than last year. And we aren't satisfied yet. We still got to win a piece of hardware for the city and bring home a trophy. So that's our focus, and then certainly outside expectations are now a little bit more this year. Teams have obviously gotten to see us, prepare for us, know a little bit more of our players, what our tendencies are, and so to be able to have another successful season despite all that is very impressive.
Walker, you mentioned the goals and obviously having a more dangerous offensive attack this year. And look, there's a lot of people, yourself included, who are responsible for that. But Hani Mukhtar and what he's been able to do this year, coming up big for you in so many games and being so consistent with how dangerous he is around the goal. Just what's it been like to be his teammate and to watch him do his thing this year?
It's been awesome. Hani was a guy who last year I think was just getting used to the league, kind of getting settled into living in the States. And I think even if you ask Hani, he would say that he was underperforming to his talent. And so this year we've seen him just firing on all cylinders, having a really good partnership with CJ Sapong. And both of them have done a great job for us in terms of getting the ball in the net, creating chances. And it's just made us a more complete team. So certainly having a player like Hani who can take over a game any given weekend is a big plus, and we're happy to have him here.
So, Walker, I'm just wondering what this time is like for you. I mean, we're less than a week removed from a dominant performance for the U.S. men's national team against Mexico. Taylor Twellman says, best of you, quote, best game he's ever had for the United States and the biggest game he's ever played in. So playing at a high level, tremendous success there, tremendous excitement around that. And, of course, now you have the postseason. Like, is it do you have extra caffeine going right now? Like extra sleep? Like what is this time like for you between these two teams?
I'm certainly trying to get all the recovery in that I can. So trying to do everything that I can do to take care of my body between all these quick turnarounds, and mentally just trying to stay focused and driven. I mean, this is the time of year where, you want to be playing, and you want to be playing in these big games. So it almost makes it, easier to get up for them, more exciting because of the magnitude of those games. And now it's about flipping that switch, you're right, from national team back to Nashville as we go on our playoff run.
Nashville SC defender Walker Zimmerman on the line with us, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Walker, speaking of playing for the national team, just what's that experience been like for you, and I guess how much does it mean to you to strap on that USA jersey every time you're out there?
It's been amazing. It's been January of 2017 was my first cap, and these past 5-6 years have absolutely flown by. But I certainly never take it for granted, and getting my first appearances in World Cup qualifiers, they're just different animals, and they're so important, not only for individuals in their careers, but the team and the dynamic of a group, chasing after qualifying for a World Cup is really special and fun to be a part of. So we're all committed. We're all extremely driven and focused, and each game just brings its own challenges that we got to tackle. So it's been a lot of fun. Certainly can't wait for the next 2 windows, but before that, we gotta take care of business here in Nashville.
So on that front, Walker, if there's one aspect of this team's game that needs to get to another level for a run, what would it be?
It's a great question. I think for us, it's probably not falling down early. We've had a couple games this season where we've let in a really early goal, and we've been fortunate enough and good enough to get our way back in the games. But sometimes that only results in a tie. But we've dug ourselves into a little bit of a hole too often this season. So I think just making sure we get off to really good starts in all of these games ahead is probably going to be a really important factor.
Walker, how do you describe what Gary Smith and the vision that he has for your team, your group, and your style of play, what that's meant, and just the job that you think he's done? Obviously, you guys have a lot of talented players on the field, but the job that you think Gary Smith has done through this season and navigating through what is a really long and grueling and grinding MLS season, as you know.
Well, he's certainly done a great job. I mentioned about the expansion teams and the challenges that come with being an expansion team, and I think having won in MLS before, I think he knows, what it takes, and he knows the simplicity that you're going to need sometimes, the collectiveness that you're going to need all the time. And so he's kind of brought that collectiveness, that work ethic, that tough to break down mentality to the group, and we've certainly embodied those characteristics.
So, Walker, how much are you looking forward? You mentioned having the home playoff match. How much are you looking forward to the crowd this year? You remember, the playoff match last year, there was a limited capacity crowd. Like, how much are you looking forward to seeing what this environment's going to be like next week?
I can't wait. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for the club. Not a lot of teams are hosting playoff games every year. And so I hope that, our fans, the city recognizes the importance of games like these and can come out and give us all the support that we can get. And then, hopefully, depending on how the games go, we can host another one.
Absolutely. Well, Walker, we appreciate so much you taking time to join us today. Congratulations on all the success that you've had, and looking forward to some continued success coming up in the playoffs.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Walker Zimmerman, Nashville SC defender, has been our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. You talk about exhausting. Obviously he's a prime athlete. He's 28 years old. But bouncing back and forth from Nashville SC and the MLS to the U.S. men's national team and just the intensity that goes along with those games, now coming back, having to focus on a playoff run. First off, the dude is an absolute stud. Walker Zimmerman, a great player for Nashville SC, but it's been quite the year for him, both in MLS play and international play as well.
I think he's got a 50-inch vertical.
He can jump,
I can't prove that. But, yeah, these stats on the World Cup qualifier, 8 of 10 duels won, 6 of 7 aerial duels won, 8 clearances, 4 interceptions. And it's going to be, obviously, now is now. It's Nashville SC. It's the playoffs. But, like, soccer fans worldwide, like, he's emerging as a key guy for right now, especially for soccer fans in this country, what the USMNT is doing right now is very encouraging after a stretch of very not encouraging. So it's pretty cool to see a Nashville athlete have that kind of impact and what looks like a really strong role with that team moving forward.
Yep, and you can catch the Nashville SC taking on Orlando City SC coming up next Tuesday in the first round of the playoffs. Match begins at 7 o'clock. You can hear pregame at 6:45 here on ESPN 94.9. The environments, if you've been to a Nashville SC game at Nissan Stadium, it's awesome. I mean, you have a great time there. I'm expecting a pretty good environment next Tuesday as they take on Orlando City. It's going to be pretty awesome to watch. Yet another home playoff game hosted, and as Walker mentioned at the end of that interview there, things go well. Maybe another one coming after that.
Yeah, don't take them for granted.
Nope. Absolutely not. So it's going to be fun to watch and see what happens on that front. We'll take your thoughts on Nashville SC. The Titans, everything on the table on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. We'll have our best and worst thing in sports coming up next as well, so we'll take those submissions as well on the text line, 615-737-1025. Don't miss Nashville's best NFL pregame show live from Rock Bottom Brewery on Broadway this Sunday. The NFL pregame show features Jared Stillman, Mark Howard, and former Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders. You can join them from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. live at Rock Bottom Brewery on Broadway prior to the Titans taking on the Houston Texans. The NFL pregame show brought to you by TriStar Moving, Parman Tractor and Equipment, FreedomTireGuys.com, FanDuel, E2 Roofing, Hillside Medical, Social Furniture, and Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. We'll be right back. Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. Passing showers this morning will lead to an overall cooler day with highs only working their way up into the upper 40s and lower 50s under clearing skies this afternoon.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Are you worried about your holiday shopping and your gift arriving in time? The Omni Nashville Hotel has a great idea for you. How about gift cards to their world-renowned Mocara Spa or Nashville's fine dining favorite, Bob's Steak and Chop House? Surprise your loved ones and friends with this special gift idea and take out the hustle and bustle of fighting traffic and long lines this holiday season. Simply go to OmniNashvilleHotel.com to purchase your gift cards. That's OmniNashvilleHotel.com for gift cards to Mocara Spa or Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. Hiller is giving away cash for the holidays, and we are celebrating from now until the end of the year with special deals. They're donating $50 in toys to Toys for Tots with every tankless water heater purchase and giving away $250 Visa gift card with each unit. Get a $500 Visa gift card when you buy select new HVAC systems, or get a $500 Visa gift card with the purchase of any new whole home generator. More specials online at happyhiller.com. As always, happy you'll be here. The service is free. These deals are only available until the end of the year, so schedule today. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Call the Happy Face Truck today.
We've all had that dream. Tie game, bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded. Well, on FanDuel Sportsbook, you get more than one shot to swing for the fences because FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free. That's right. New users get up to $1,000 back in-site credit if your first bet doesn't win. There's a reason FanDuel Sportsbook is the top-ranked sportsbook app on Apple and Google Play. The app is simple to use. They've got great offers on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlay, and always-on promotions to let you get more action out of every game day. And when you win, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code PLAY to get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code PLAY. 21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Shop on eBay this holiday season to get more for your dough on stand mixers, or get more for your buck on this season's hottest tech and gaming gear. And on eBay, you can even get more Thanksgiving deals with a second helping of savings. The holidays are here. You can get more because you save more on premium brands with eBay's exclusive Thanksgiving deals. Get more when you get it on eBay.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Darren McFarland.
That should get you in the mood for a game tonight.
Willie Donick.
I think between 5.5 and 6 is probably in the ballpark.
Chase McCabe.
Typically, I like to take the most difficult task and do it first.
Darren, Donick, and Chase have you covered weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Curacion CBD on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 1025 The Game.
The best and worst of the sports week, now on Robby and Rexrode.
On ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
And it is that time of the week, time for the best and worst things in sports. As always, we will take your submissions on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025 for your best and worst things in sports. And as we do every week, we'll kick things off with Joe Rexrode, who a few weeks ago switched up the format. I thought it was nice. Good power move by Rexrode, going best and worst at the same time. I like it. So Joe Rexrode will continue the tradition. We turn things over to you. Your best and worst things in sports.
Now I want to go back to the old way.
Okay.
But whatever.
This is your show. You do whatever you want.
It's not my show. It's our show.
Aw, Joe.
Isn't that nice? So, okay, I'm doing both?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like when you have, these are so, these don't belong in the same discussion, but that's
do you
fine.
want to do them
No,
separately?
that's fine.
Okay.
All right, best thing in sports. Let me tell you what the best thing in sports is. The Golden State freaking Warriors.
Oh, boy.
I am so excited about the Golden State Warriors. They're going to win it all. I'm going to go ahead and call that shot. Don't you give me that probably not. I'm going to call that shot right now. They're going to get Klay Thompson. They're going to get James Wiseman. I don't know how much James Wiseman helped them, but Jonathan Kuminga, incredible ad. Such a brilliant ad. Now you have a big athletic defender. Gary Payton Jr. as well. They got depth. They got a second unit that is actually good, like they used to in the good old days. Andre Iguodala is ageless. He should be Pharaoh too. And, Steph.
Should he?
And Steph and Draymond, you're talking about a transformational offensive player, transformational defensive player. It is awesome. I am so excited for the Golden State Warriors. They're winning the whole damn thing.
They're much more likable to me without Kevin Durant.
I agree.
Much more likable.
Well, it would be. I mean, you think about legacy because look, it was never fair to me because they won one without Kevin Durant, but obviously then they were this super team, and I never totally bought into the whole. How could you like LeBron talking super team after what he did in Miami? Like, huh? But it's true that Durant played for a rival and then switched to them. If they win one without him, then I mean you're talking about cemented legacies there for a lot of people, and I think they're going to be right there. So I'm super pumped.
Is Steph Curry the best point guard to ever play the game?
Well, did you say that because?
No, I'm asking.
Well, he's not a point guard.
He's a point guard.
No, he's not.
Go look up his position. It's literally point guard.
But watch him play. He doesn't play point guard. Every single offensive set, all he does is run off screens because he's a two guard. And that's, believe me, I've already gotten into this war on Twitter with people. And I'm sorry. He's a good passer and he'll lead the break sometimes. But honestly, on their team, Draymond Green is their point guard. Steph Curry is their two guard. And Klay Thompson is their other two guard. And by the way, Jordan Poole is also a nice addition. So anyway, that's we don't have time for that. He's not a point guard, but he's the best. I mean, he's one of the most impactful players ever. And he's the best shooter ever.
Yeah.
I mean, period. It's ridiculous.
Joe Rexrode, your worst thing in sports for the week.
And so now this is where, sometimes things don't really go well together. But and this is new for me. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If you are queasy at all, because honestly, I'm shaken by this and disgusted by it. I would not watch the video of Zach Stacy that is on TMZ right now.
Obviously, former Vanderbilt player.
The former Vanderbilt running back. It is very, very disturbing. Hitting his wife and throwing her into a television. I never want to hear that guy's name again around here.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad.
I would probably second your thoughts there. Probably just don't need to watch that one. It's not good. Michelle Knezvik, your best thing in sports for the week.
I'm going to start with worst because I had the same one as Joe, and just going to basically everything you said, Joe, absolutely horrific. I just saw that video pop up on my Twitter feed. But shows courage for her, calling the cops, reporting it, because obviously that's really hard too. But yeah, thoughts and prayers goes out to her and their little son, and hopefully we never have to hear his name again.
Yeah,
like you said.
The little son who had to watch that.
Yeah, exactly. My best in sports, on a lighter note, we talked a lot about this week. A.J. Brown last week came out with the video just surrounding his mental health and really raising awareness. I thought that Mike Vrabel had some awesome comments on Monday about this, and basically just saying how they use that as the forefront of their franchise, and he always just wants to let people know that they can come to him or anybody else in the organization. And then I think also too, we just had the Preds assistant coach on, Todd Richards, and he talked a little bit about mental health, and Mark on the team. So I just think it's great that organizations are speaking out on this. It's really just empowering, and it helps regular everyday people to know that these athletes are human as well, and they go through similar things that everybody else goes through. So that was my best in sports.
Very nice. My best thing in sports, Robby Ray winning the Cy Young. Look, we don't have an MLB team here, and hopefully one day that changes. We got a lot of fun baseball players that are from this area or live in this area or call this area home. I mean, when you think about Mookie Betts, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day, Robby Ray just winning the Cy Young Award for the Toronto Blue Jays. Matt Beatty's been on the Dodgers the last few years. David Price. I mean, you can go on and on, the names that are around this area. We got a pretty awesome baseball town for a place that does not have an MLB team. And to see Robby Ray, obviously out of Brentwood, winning the Cy Young Award yesterday. Pretty cool. Robby Ray, when I was playing ball, was the name that I heard a lot. It was like, oh, that Robby Ray's pretty good, huh? And to see him go win a Cy Young Award is pretty sick. So Robby Ray winning the Cy Young, my best thing in sports for this week.
Nice.
Worst thing, I mean, Zach Stacy, I think, goes without saying at this point. Pretty awful. On a lighter note, what's quickly becoming more of a worst thing in terms of just this constant barrage that we're seeing right now, the submissions for the Titans nicknames are getting out of control on the text line Rexrode.
I'm scared.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they're just continuing to come in.
There's got to be some good ones.
I think we're getting worse.
Ron had the Four Horsemen. I know. Yeah. Ron also has Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I mean, they're coming in droves.
Joe,
nickname submissions.
One
for the
was
Titan
Joe's
defense.
name. One was your name, Joe. I think maybe it was Ron or Keith or something.
I mean, it must have been Keith then.
Yeah, go to Keith because it was something with Rexrode.
I guess
We all love some wordplay for Rexrode's name.
Yeah, my app betrays me a lot. I can't. Did I block Keith or something? I don't know.
I don't think so. All right, let's go to our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Joey from Gallatin texting in. The worst thing in sports, taunting penalty in football. The best thing, the transfer portal in college football. So Joey, not a big fan of the taunting penalty in football. Is a big fan of the transfer portal. I've not heard many people say the transfer portal is awesome.
Yeah, more people would probably put that in the worst side, but sometimes it helps your team.
Yeah. Jim from Springfield texting in. The best thing I saw in sports was Dylan Cole's hit on the opening kickoff of the second half from practice squad to the spotlight. This is coming from Jim from Springfield.
It is a cool story and a heck of a hit.
Yeah, it was.
That was one of those, sometimes a guy, just fumbles. I mean, you rip the ball or whatever. That was like the force of the hit just forced the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
And that's really as much a game-winning play from that game as any.
By the way, Keith's name on the text line for the defense, Joe's Flex Roads. There you go.
I'll say big no on that. But, hey, I always appreciate you.
Heidi from Dixon texting in. The best is Vrabel and Braveheart. So Braveheart. The worst is Braveheart without Vrabel. So I guess Heidi's not a big fan of the actual movie Braveheart if it doesn't have Mike Vrabel in it.
So Heidi's saying she's the best because she came up with that.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it was pretty good.
But Dennis
It was
deserves
good.
a lot of love for that. And also, Braveheart's a great movie. Come on.
Yeah, very good.
That's got to be on the list for you, Michelle.
Little gory for me. I can't do any of that.
But it's it is. But actually, at the time, it was shocking. I'd say now it's pretty run of the mill.
Chris, the best thing in sports, the clutch coffee delivery yesterday, no matter how much it cost.
Woo!
Did you get paid, by the way?
Did save a lot of things.
Yeah. Shout out Katie Rexrode, who's 5:15 this morning. I got a Venmo.
5:15.
Wow.
So
Did you
sweet.
get like a ding for that? I mean,
No.
it wouldn't matter because you would have been up, but that's so early to Venmo someone, But that also tells you that I woke up Katie when I showered. Sorry.
Best thing in sports, Katie Rexrode.
There you go.
This morning.
We got a couple of votes for this on the text line, which I would have to concur. Nate on the text line, my best thing in sports is tomorrow at 5 o'clock right here on 102.5 The Game with Jared and people around the Titans honoring the legacy of Floyd Reese.
Nice.
We miss you, GM, and we can never thank you and your family enough for what you did for this city. Going to be really awesome. First off, shout out to Jared yesterday for the way he closed the show. It was awesome to hear. And looking forward to tomorrow coming up at 5 o'clock. Looking forward to Floyd going into the Ring of Honor for the Titans this weekend. Going to be really, really awesome to see that.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good job bringing that in because that absolutely deserves mention. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Donovan from Wisconsin saying the best thing, Pecorine retirement ceremony. The bad, it's the off season for NASCAR. So no more NASCAR, the worst thing in sports.
Okay. Chase McCabe is with you. Keith, by the way, just put in the text line, you blocked me, Joe Rex blows. But obviously I didn't block it because I just read that.
Yes.
How quickly they turn on you.
Well, you thought that you might have blocked him.
Just
But
muted you.
Good stuff for the best and worst thing in sports. This is one of my favorite segments of the week.
Mine too, Rob.
People coming up with stuff on the text line. I love it.
Except for Heidi.
I thought Heidi's was good.
She won this week.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but the movie's good.
The movie is good.
I just like to give Heidi a hard time. A.K.A. Lou.
We'll come back. We'll continue the discussion on the Titans. Take more of your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Join 1025 The Game this Saturday night for the Bud Light Preds Watch Party at Headquarters Beercade. There'll be great drink specials. You can enter to win Preds tickets to an upcoming home game and watch the Preds take on the Montreal Canadiens. So join us this Saturday night at Headquarters Beercade, located at 114 2nd Avenue South, downtown. The puck drops at 6 p.m. We'll be right back. Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
Take us wherever you may go.
There are two guys on my untouchable list.
Shoot us in anywhere, anytime.
Every team's got those. That's my point.
Just search The Game Nashville in your app store and download today. And keep it locked on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen. Tough night at Memorial. This is the Commodore Report. I'm Kevin Ingram. Cold shooting and a first loss of the season for Vanderbilt men's basketball, falling 48-37 to VCU. The Doors were 22% on the night from the field and 2 out of 25 from 3. Coach Jerry Stackhouse says they had good looks.
You just got to step up and make shots. Maybe it wasn't the rhythm of how we've been seeing them, but we got great looks. We made, got 2 on the ball. We moved it in. Just wasn't our night shooting the basketball.
Tough defense from the Rams, who turned 21 Vanderbilt turnovers into 20 points. Jordan Wright had 15 with 7 rebounds to lead Vandy, which plays again on Saturday at home against Winthrop. Vanderbilt women's team is back home tonight to face Tennessee Tech. 6 o'clock start for that one. Tennis great Sydney Campbell is part of this year's 11-member class just announced for the Vanderbilt Athletics Hall of Fame. The 3-time All-American and NCAA champion said it was a shock and an honor to get the call from Athletics Director Candace Lee.
She also shared that I was going in with David Williams, which is the biggest honor. He had such an impact on my life during college. I'm so close with Gail, his wife, today. And that honestly was just as much of an honor, I think, as going in at all.
Campbell went 108-50 in singles play during her college career, and you can hear more of our conversation on this week's edition of the Anchor Podcast. And don't forget Vanderbilt football at Ole Miss this Saturday on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield. Pregame at 5, kickoff 6:30 from Oxford. That's the Commodore Report on 102.5 The Game and ESPN 94.9.
Are you a father that is passionate about your fundamental constitutional right to parent your own child or children? Has your parenting time or your income been affected by COVID? This is Amanda J. Gentry, and I am a fierce defender of your constitutional rights. The courts in Tennessee are under an obligation to maximize equal parenting time. We do not live in an every other weekend world anymore. At the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, fathers are extremely important, much like my own father was. Go to AmandaJGentry.com or call or text 615-604-6263. That's AmandaJGentry.com.
It's not just about being in your community. It's about being your community. Come experience the all-new state-of-the-art Volunteer State Bank, second Murfreesboro location at 2019 Memorial Boulevard. Volunteer State Bank offers personalized services like banking for professionals, free Kasasa checking, the convenience of mobile banking, and the money you need when you need it. Visit one of our 13 locations or online at volstatebank.com. Real people, real solutions, right here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Darren McFarland here, and let me tell you about my friends at Concussion CBD. If you're like me and have aches and pains all over your body and you've been searching for a solution, well, I've got it. It's Concussion CBD. Concussion means healing, and that right there says it all. Concussion is locally and organically sourced CBD products right here from Middle Tennessee. From seed to final sell, Concussion is passionate about providing quality products for everyday use for athletes and for pets too. Order yours now at ConcussionCompany.com. Concussion CBD, curated for life.
Nashville's best sports talk, locally owned, home of our Nashville Predators. WPRT-FM Pegram, 97.5 Murfreesboro, WBUZ HD2 Laverne, online at thegamenashville.com. We are
ESPN
102.5 The Game. It's Robby and Rexrode with Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in. Final hour of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, now with 2 locations in Murfreesboro. Visit their brand new Murfreesboro location at 2019 Memorial Boulevard. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Jeff in Kingston Springs texting in. Who knew that a local district would one day have a future MLB MVP in Mookie Betts, a future Cy Young winner in Robbie Ray, and a current major leaguer Tony Kemp and former Yankees catcher Corbin Joseph all at the same time? But the district MVP that year was my nephew, Connor Moore. Shout out. Way to go, Connor.
Shout out, Connor.
That's a story you can tell for a long time.
No doubt, right? That's pretty awesome.
Heidi from Dixon texting back in. Buy me calling minutes, and I'll call in and chew you out, Joey. Just kidding. Love y'all.
Call in.
You got to
get us some minutes.
I mean, you give me your Venmo, Heidi. My wife will Venmo you. We've already established this on the show. So, because of course, I can't actually figure out Venmo myself,
That does not surprise me.
Come on, Heidi. We want to hear you talk, Heidi. Hello, this is Heidi. It'd be like a computer-generated voice.
DJ texting in, the best is the Braves are World Series champs. The worst is Atlanta hasn't re-signed Freddie yet. I'm interested to see what happens with Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
I still have a gut feeling he ends up back in Atlanta, but when you get this deep into discussions, I mean, your usual suspects come around. The Yankees are going to get involved, and I'm sure the Red Sox will be making a phone call. Like, I'm sure maybe the Cubs, like the usual suspects get in there. That can be a dangerous game. He just kind of feels like Mr. Brave to me. So I'm going to predict he goes back to the Braves.
Yeah, if not, boy, they botched that.
Yep, I would say so.
So real quick, TD, this is a good idea for everybody, ESPN. What's your NFL team's most heartbreaking loss?
Of all time?
And, of course, the headline is from 28-3. We all know that one.
Oh, yeah.
To the Ice Bowl, which I assume would be the Cowboys against the Packers.
Yep.
Right? To the Drive. Oh, man, the Drive. Ask Mike Vrabel about that.
What is the most heartbreaking loss? I mean, it's got to be the Super Bowl, right? For the Titans, losing by a yard?
Unless it's unless it's the next year when they had the best team and they make a bunch of mistakes and lose to an inferior team, which, of course, ends up winning it all, but you also know that you would have won it all if you kept it together and figured out a way to beat that. Again, Ravens, all-time great defense, so not saying they're not a deserving Super Bowl winner, but I don't know.
It's got to be one of those two, right?
Probably one of those two. Because in 2008, I know the other time the Titans got the bye. Hasn't gone well getting the bye.
It has not.
That's only two examples. You also lost to the Ravens in that game. But that team, that was not – I don't think I ever thought that year that was the best team necessarily in the NFL. Certainly one of the contenders.
Well, they
great defense.
They started 10-0, and they went 3-3 down the stretch. You're like, okay, maybe a little.
Still
bit more
got the one.
Yeah.
Still got the bye. Beat the Steelers.
Great game.
But the 2000 team, I mean, to me, that was the best team in the NFL.
Yeah,
and it was a perfect build-up after because. I don't know. I guess I'd like to hear what Titans fans think about that because I hear what you're like. It's obvious that you are 1 yard from going to overtime in the Super Bowl, and it's agonizing. And, by the way, speaking of Floyd Reese, Jim Wyatt had a really good piece talking to Sally this week.
Yep.
At TitansOnline.com, and she talked about him watching that play over and over. You think about if you're one of the people involved in that thing and just how close you were. So, I mean, that's a strong contender, but it's also like it's still also the high water point of the franchise history, to get to the Super Bowl.
It is.
To be right there.
I mean, I'm putting that at number one on heartbreaking. I mean, just
because you're so
it's
close
a
to
yard.
winning it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, everybody always says they were a yard away from winning the Super Bowl. They were a yard away from tying the Super Bowl. I don't know what would have happened after that, but
yard away from
Jeff Fisher wasn't
overtime.
going for two there.
Yeah,
it's not happening. And I think he said that since then. Dylan on the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. I can still see Algie Crumpler fumbling the ball on the goal line in 2008. That was a tough one in 2008. I'm sure Derek Mason enjoyed it, but that was a tough one in 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, mistakes in both of those games, were big parts of it. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's like, how could it not be the thing where you are a yard away? And by the way, that is what TD chose for the Titans.
Yeah.
For the record, was the Super Bowl loss.
It's interesting. Like, I'm trying to think of some of these other teams. Like, what is the worst loss, the most heartbreaking loss in Jags history? It's got to be at the hands of the Titans, right? AFC title game. I guess it's got to be it.
Got to be.
Unless you want to throw Blake Bortles' Patriots in there.
That's true. They were right there to win that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you're 14-2, you're the best team, and you're like, and you get a chance. Now they picked the one the other one, but you have a chance to get revenge on that team and take care of all family business.
Yeah.
And go on to the Super Bowl that you were supposed to play in, and you just get trounced.
Yeah. Like, I'm going through each team in the Titans division in my head. I guess the Texans would have to be when they just totally blew it against Kansas City a few years ago. when they were up 24-0 or whatever the score was in that game, and then Patrick Mahomes scored like 1,000 points in the second half of that game. I mean, there's not very many options for Houston, so that would be the one that comes to mind for them.
You nailed that one.
Indy? I don't know. I guess Super Bowl against the Saints?
The choice, and this is a very good choice, is the 05 year, like Peyton, incredible year. They were dominant, and they lost at home to young Roethlisberger and the Steelers.
That's a good one.
That's a killer, because that's a Super Bowl winning team, and there you go, another team that beat them ended up being the Super Bowl winning team.
Packers wins NFC title game against Seattle. It was awful.
Lions.
What do they do?
A tremendous buffet of choices.
Yes.
But this is so dumb. This is terrible. Who did this? Eric Wood. Come on, Eric. Eric chose the Hail Mary that Aaron Rodgers threw a few years ago, like in
a regular season game.
No. Hell no. Look, the easy choice is the same team. It's beating the Packers and Brett Favre to win the division, and then the next week outplaying them, and then just not covering Sterling Sharp, so Brett Favre can turn around and just say, "Oh, let me just arm punt it to him for the winning touchdown." That's got to be it. But again, buffet of choices. This one says Packers actually against the loss to the Niners in the '99 wild card round. The catch 2. Which was T.O., right?
Yes.
Yes, it was T.O. Yeah. No?
No. Seahawks. I would put Tampa Bay last year was up there, too. I'm still not over that one.
That's a tough one.
See Kevin King in my nightmares. Let's go to the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Got a text that says, if the Texans beat the Chiefs, the Titans probably go to the Super Bowl that year. I'd say there's a pretty good shot. Texans hold on that lead. Titans probably in the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But it was only 24-0. And then Bill O'Brien with the fake punt. Oh, boy.
It is correct. Let's go back to the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. The Keith from Bowling Green say the Colts, it's the Super Bowl against the Jets. Going all the way back to the Joe Namath days.
Yes, that's a good point. That was a shocking, and I don't remember what the line was. It was huge. Joe Namath, guarantees the.
Remember watching that game?
Yeah, I mean, I was taking my driver's test, so we listened to it on the radio mostly.
Yes.
But yeah, one thing about that is hilarious is like when Joe Namath guaranteed that, he was like at like the hotel pool with a bunch of reporters hanging around him. Like that was like media access back then. Like, yeah.
Come on down.
I think Joe's down having some Mai Tais. Go. Yeah, you can go talk to him down there. Guarantees a victory. But that game, shocking result. Of course, helped the NFL become what it is today because the AFL got respect.
Yeah. Tyler from Berry Hill texting in. Honorable mention for the Titans has to be the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs when you drop a double-digit lead twice. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it certainly was heartbreaking.
It's worth
but
a
it's
mention.
also like a, oh my goodness, we just made it to the AFC title game type story.
But I mean, I think that's worth a mention because it's like the Super Bowl. You just can't count on getting back.
Yeah.
So when you have that opportunity, you got to seize it. And obviously, it was a great comeback in the Super Bowl, first of all. I mean, McNair was so good in the second half of that Super Bowl. But the Titans were in control, and they had everything working in the AFC Championship game. And then the Mahomes run was really the play.
I got a text that says the Seattle Seahawks would definitely be Malcolm Butler's interception. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I mean, I'll look, but how could it be anything else? And the Falcons, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan's a good coach, but my God, man, do the math.
I was walking around Disney World a few months ago, and there were two guys walking around Animal Kingdom with 28-3 shirts on. That's all it said. It was just 28-3. I was like, oh, boy. This is still going on, huh?
Yeah, the Seahawks, I don't need to read anything else. Like the first line, this is written by Brady Henderson. What else could it be?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And again, Tom Brady, hey, it's a ring on his finger. But let me tell you something. That guy was on the sideline knowing he lost and then like, yes, yeah, like the dude won the lottery that day.
Here you are, just taking things away from Tom
I'm
Brady
not
again.
taking anything away, but I'm just saying it's a team sport. And sometimes the other team is on your team.
It's the Pharaoh to you, Joe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dennis on the text line. I thought the most heartbreaking loss was this year's Jets game. It set back the Titans for years. This coming from Dennis on the text line.
That's true. It led to a terrible season, and maybe they'll get the number 1 overall pick, though.
We'll continue to take your thoughts on the Titans on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. That's next. Make sure you play Silly Underdog Picks today. Pick 3 football underdog teams you think will win this week. For a chance to win tickets to an upcoming sporting event or concert, go to thegamenashville.com for more details and to play. Silly Underdog Picks is presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. We'll be right back. Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
That's the way to win. Took everybody, we found a way to win. Let's go. Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3. Titans.
The Red Hot Titans sit atop the AFC with an 8-2 record.
It is pretty incredible that they just continue to find ways to win.
Your home of the best Titans coverage.
This is how the Titans are going to have to win games.
Is Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Tune in to ESPN 102.5 The Game every Tuesday afternoon at 4:30 for ESPN's Trevor Maddich joining me, Jared Stillman, on Stillman & Company as we dive deep into the college football world and all the latest from the SEC. It's all brought to you by Houston Clinic Orthopedics, when experience matters.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Get ready for 3 Dog Night. Live in concert November 24th at Ryman Auditorium, celebrating over 50 years of 3 Dog Night. See the band that had 21 consecutive top 40 hits. Sing along to all the hits you know and love. Tickets are on sale now at Ryman.com. Sponsored by PNC Bank, proud partner of Ryman Auditorium.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
This game's gonna be good.
Definitely.
Loser buys?
Sure.
Hey, 2 Dos Equis on this guy.
The game hasn't even started.
And yet, somehow it's already over.
Okay.
A dose of certainty. Brought to you by Dos Equis, proud sponsor of college football. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2021. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. This weekend at Genesis, we're hosting the largest luxury pre-owned Rolex event ever held in Tennessee, just in time for the holidays. Genesis has found and purchased a spectacular selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all the hottest models that people wait years for, and we're showcasing them all this weekend. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, rare luxury timepieces you can't find anywhere else. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come early. Get the first pick and get 60 months financing. How about a luxury pre-owned 2-tone Submariner for only $299 a month, or a ladies 36mm date just for only $199 a month. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site, offering top dollar for your luxury pre-owned Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in Tennessee and take advantage of special financing this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your new home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
Signs First is the official sign company for 102.5 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Love thy neighbor, like Neighbors Nashville, founded and operated by former Titans standout Zach Piller. Neighbors Germantown and Neighbors Sylvan Park have been a fixture in the community for years and is open and ready to serve you in their legendary atmosphere, sure to deliver a one-of-a-kind experience for everyone. Both locations are open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 a.m., and Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 3 a.m., with happy hour specials weekdays from 3 to 7. Go check out Neighbors, the best sports entertainment bar in Nashville.
Staying healthy isn't easy, especially during the holidays. Watching your diet, staying active, managing stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and effortlessly adjusts to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Bring proven quality sleep home for the holidays. It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Interact with Robby and Rexrode. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
Tune in tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. for Floyd Reese, a true Titan, honoring the legacy of Floyd Reese as Titans general manager as he gets inducted into the Ring of Honor at Nissan Stadium coming up this Sunday. This special will feature some of the biggest names in franchise history who knew Floyd as well as anyone. Will be hosted as well by our good friend Jared Stillman. Tomorrow's tribute to Floyd Reese brought to you by Neighbors in Nashville. Neighbors is the best sports entertainment bar in Nashville with locations in Germantown, Sylvan Park, and coming soon to Franklin as well. And Joe, we're looking forward to that coming up tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
No, it's going to be great. Very much looking forward to it. I know a lot of people, Jared has worked very hard on it. It's going to be great. Also, I think Michelle is becoming a straight-up Hall & Oates fan. I think it's pretty obvious.
Why wouldn't you be?
I really like that song, The Private Eyes.
It's a jam.
It's a little jammer.
Oh, man. They got other jams.
Yeah, true.
So who'd you say got a like on Twitter the other day? Are you jealous that your top 10 Hall & Oates list did not receive the proper, I guess, recognition that you thought?
Well, it's okay. But Steve McGargy, Associated Press, who was, of course, been in Knoxville for a long time, wrote a whole bunch of Vols stories from Knoxville. He recently moved to Milwaukee. He responded to my list. He's he went and saw them in the 80s and stuff. But his list, which is a lot more deep cut than mine, probably more of a real, genuine Hall & Oates fan than me, got liked by John Oates. John Oates gave him so McGargy sent me a DM, said, check it out. John Oates, liked his reply. So kudos to you, Steve.
Rexrode's jealous.
A little bit. Why don't you like my list, John Oates?
That's right.
I've come to watch you play live.
Let's go back to the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunting.com, 615-737-1025. We're going through the most heartbreaking losses in teams' histories, and we talked about the Seahawks. It's got to be the Super Bowl. Tyler from Berry Hill texting in. It can't not be the Super Bowl for the Seahawks, but the Hasselbeck saying, we'll take the ball and we're going to score has to be up there for those fans, even though I still think it's hilarious to watch. Do you remember this? I do. It was awesome.
Remind me.
It's overtime in the playoffs between the Packers and the Seahawks. And the Seahawks win the toss. And Matt Hasselbeck says, we want the ball and we're going to score into the microphone.
Yeah.
Right. Then proceeds to throw a pick six, and they lose the game.
That's a toughie. It's not as much a toughie as Marty Morningweg, the Detroit Lions, saying, we'll take the wind.
Yes.
In overtime, and then the Bears came right down and scored to win the game. We'll take the win.
We'll take the wind. Appreciate you. Ron on the text line. I'm willing to bet that if we win the first round bye, that Henry will be back no matter what. At 70%, 80%, whatever, he'll be back. If we're close to that, it means re-injuring the foot, then I'm sure he would do it for a chance at a ring. You can heal in the offseason. What do you think of that? Derrick Henry, no matter what, he's coming back.
Well,
if the Titans get the first round bye.
I don't know. I wouldn't just completely count on that. I mean, I would count on every effort being made for him to be back. And like someone asked yesterday on the text line, what's the update on Derrick Henry? The update is when we get to the 6-week mark, then the bone will be observed. You know, until then, there's nothing to talk about. You have the foot in a boot or whatever, and you keep it elevated, and then you see how it goes. But if Derrick Henry is told, hey, this could really jeopardize your career, but you could win a ring, would he do it? I don't know. I guess I could see that happening, but I don't think that'll be the discussion. If he heals the ways that they hope and everything looks good, then it really is just there's just an unknown to it that will be part of it. But and a doctor would say, and one I've talked to would say, look, you are certainly better off if you take 6 months off from this thing and come back rather than 10, 12 weeks. But it doesn't mean that 10, 12 weeks is any different. You could be totally fine. It's also potentially problematic where the bone is. So that's a long way of saying I don't know.
A lot that remains to be seen on that front with Derrick Henry. Let's go back to the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunting.com. Jacob from Murfreesboro texting in, taking this discussion of most heartbreaking losses to Tennessee football. I can't decide between these games. 2011 in Death Valley against LSU, 09 in Tuscaloosa, 13 at home against Georgia, which was Pig Howard fumbling through the end zone, 2016 at USC Junior coming off the bye, and 2016 at Vandy. Kamara running out of bounds at the 4 or on 4th down. Needless to say, I could spend hours talking about different heartbreaking outcomes.
Well, what would you do?
Oh, man, there's a lot. The LSU game was bad.
That was they botched the goal line, right?
Yeah, they had like 17 people on the field.
Yeah.
I would say, probably, was it 15? I think it may have been 15
Oklahoma?
in Florida.
Oh,
when they had, it was like 4th and 22.
Oh, yep.
All they had to do was get a stop. And they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'd probably put that one up.
I mean,
up
there's
near the
also
top.
17 Florida.
Yeah,
which was the end of Butch, pretty much.
I put 15 ahead of 17, but
because 15, you still, you had a different kind of feel for the program. I think that mentioning the South Carolina 16 game is worthwhile though, because that's the East.
Yeah,
that's you're playing at Vanderbilt to win the East if you don't lose that game, and you had no business losing that game. But you had no business losing the Vanderbilt game, and you did that too.
To Jacob's point, there's a lot of different options you could go through for Tennessee football. Really, over the course of the last, 12, 13 years. A lot of options on the table. Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, the Pig Howard game too. I feel like it just seems like maybe college football there are more for the average fan base, but I could be wrong. Because in college football, like how many of these NFL games are really going to be regular season games?
Not many.
But in college football, how it has been is like it's so important.
Sure.
Every single game matters. That's what they always say, right? Like no more important regular season. Now, they're trying to mess that up by, valuing stats over outcomes of games. But still, I feel like college football fans probably have more than NFL fans.
I would say so. What's Vanderbilt's most heartbreaking loss of all time? It's hard to pin one down.
I'm trying to think in the last few years, like anything that really stood out. Because, like they beat Tennessee, but when they've lost to Tennessee, that's been pretty resounding recently.
Big rivals, Joe?
Well, they are in-state rivals.
Yeah, they are in-state rivals.
It's been, going into last year? They were 5-5 with the exact same number of points scored over the previous 10 games.
Yeah.
You actually can't get closer than that.
Tennessee fans' favorite stat. Love that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Vanderbilt fans, there's a lot. There's like the Florida game. Wasn't like the taunting penalty with Earl Bennett, right? That's a killer. Shoot, I remember a loss at Florida with Derek Mason as coach where they had it. They had a really good Florida team beat, and they've had a lot. I know some Vanderbilt fans who are like, I could write an absolute book on the games that have been squandered by this program over the years.
Yeah, I would say so. This is an interesting discussion. I think there's only two options for the Titans. I really do. I know people that we've gotten a couple of votes for the 2008 championship game, a couple of votes for the game against the Chiefs. I think it's either the Super Bowl or the divisional round loss to the Ravens. Because I as good as that Super Bowl team was for the Titans, the next year's team was better. Like that 2000 team was loaded. And you cannot convince me if they beat the Ravens, they win the Super Bowl that year. The Giants, certainly in the NFC, they're not touching them in that game. The Titans played the Giants that year and absolutely tore them apart in that game. So they would have won the Super Bowl that year.
I think I'd vote that just because the Super Bowl is still the Super Bowl, and they were the underdog in the Super Bowl, and they had a great showing. And you could walk away from that game still feeling like, man, obviously heartbroken, obviously, but also like, man, I'm so proud of my team. The next year, you built up to the best team in the league, and you couldn't feel good about anything from that game.
No.
So that's where I would
go. Where the hatred of the Baltimore Ravens was really, it just overflowed at that point.
And then payback finally came almost 20 years later, and then the Ravens got you right back last year. So maybe they'll meet again this year.
Payback a little less sweet when you then don't go on to win the Super Bowl like the Ravens did.
Yes. But
I hear you.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty good stuff. When we come back, we'll be joined by Preds radio analyst Hal Gill. We'll get his thoughts on the Nashville Predators as they'll take on Montreal coming up on Saturday. That's next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Titans. Texans. The two-tone blue look to take care of business at home against Houston. Tune in Sunday at 9:30 for NFL pregame with Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Mark Howard.
I would quadruple team A.J. Brown.
I'm so proud of this team. The Titans aren't going to just junk the running game.
Live from Rock Bottom Restaurant and Brewery on Broadway. We are Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Hillside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical breakthrough. The WAVE technology at Hillside Medical Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Hillside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 615-576-5000.
It's back! Family Leisure's Ultimate Game Room sale is back!
Okay, so what's that mean?
That means huge discounts, up to 50% off on all kinds of game room furniture and accessories.
Like what?
Up to 50% off on slate pool tables from Brunswick and Legacy Billiards. Prices start as low as $14.99 installed, plus the matching bars and game tables. Even poker tables to complete our game room are on sale as well. The guaranteed largest selection and lowest prices in the Mid-South.
Wow, perfect for Christmas.
Family Leisure is also featuring huge savings on massage chairs and home theater seating. Full body massage chairs starting at only $9.99. And the top of the line 4D massage chair is more than half off at $29.99.
What about the theater seating?
Family Leisure guarantees to be half off anyone's home theater seating. 3-piece recliner sets start at only $9.99. Full power recline real leather seats are only $19.99.
That's great! And they have stand-up and desktop arcade games with over 600 games, shuffleboards, foosball, and air hockey tables.
It really is the ultimate game room sale.
The ultimate game room sale going on now at both locations, Franklin and Antioch.
Blood Assurance, the area's only nonprofit community blood center, announces that everyone who donates on November 26th at a Blood Assurance Center will be entered to win a $50 Shell gasoline gift card. One gift card will be given away every hour. If you donate at a blood drive November 23rd through 27th, you will also be entered to win a $50 Shell gasoline gift card. Plus, one lucky donor who gives blood on Saturday the 27th will win a $500 Shell gift card. Give the gift of life this holiday season at Blood Assurance. Visit bloodassurance.org.
No need to stand in line waiting for the deals this year. Black Friday shopping starts early at Electronic Express. Huge savings on 4K TVs, computers, laptops, tablets, speakers, headphones, and more. Upgrade your kitchen just in time for Thanksgiving with up to 40% off all appliances. Plus, buy now, pay later with up to 36 months free financing. It's already Black Friday shopping season at Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Parman Tractor and Equipment is your one-stop tractor and equipment solution and Middle Tennessee's Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer. No matter how you're getting there, start with Parman Tractor and Equipment. Rent or purchase a track loader, mini excavator, large excavators for your job site, or something in between. Their service and parts team will get your work site up and running in no time. Parman Tractor and Equipment will come to you for service if needed. Visit ParmanTractor.com for more info. Your Middle Tennessee Link Belt and Takeuchi dealer, providing totally outrageous customer service.
ESPN's Turon Davenport breaks down the Titans like no other.
On the field chemistry, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a process.
Catch TD Mondays at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Fridays at 8. Plus, the Talking with TD podcast drops every Wednesday.
When you draft players, it's not just for one season, it's for a career.
Presented by FreedomTireGuys.com, Nashville's premier mobile tire company, and Craneworks and Rental Works, your source for crane and equipment rental. Visit Craneworks.com. Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Philip Forsberg. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game, brought to you by Volunteer State Bank, conveniently serving Middle Tennessee with 13 locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezevic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. And as we do every Thursday at this time, we go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in our good friend Hal Gill, Preds radio analyst. Hal, what's going on, brother? How we doing?
Just taking in the sights and scene here in Montreal.
Sounds like a good time. So, Hal, we appreciate you taking time to join us. So, Hal, what did you make of the Predators and their performance the other night against Toronto? And I guess how do you expect them to bounce back as they try to move past that coming up on Saturday?
It was lackluster. It was, you can call it what it was. What it was. It wasn't a great game. It was a step backwards, probably. But I feel like they've been doing so many good things. And then you have that game against Arizona, which was just flat-out cakewalk. And so I kind of expected it to be tough to get geared back up into it. You go from one game that's Arizona, an awful team, to Toronto. They played really well. They were fast. The forwards were aggressive. They were forechecking. They were reloading. There was no space or time. So I think the Preds got kind of sucked into that one a little bit. So not their best performance.
So good to have, I think everyone would probably rather play a game tonight, but you all of a sudden there are practices that are scheduled in place of that after a performance like that. Is that a good thing?
It's tough because sometimes you say, hey, listen, you had a bad game. You want to get right back into another game and get on with it. Other times you say, we had a bad game. Let's go work on some things. In the end, it is what it is, and you're stuck with the cards that were dealt. And I think if I was a player, I'd say the last thing I want to do is lose a game before I have 3 days straight of practice. So I think these skates are coming up today and tomorrow. Probably today is going to be tough. It's going to be kind of a wake-up call. Like, let's get back into gear, which might be the best thing for them. With this span of the game canceled in the span of days, maybe you can re-engage and get your head back into it.
Hal, obviously, the game didn't go well, as you mentioned the other night. UC Saros was awesome in that game and has been awesome pretty much every time he's stepped foot on the ice so far this year for the Predators. How do you kind of put into words what you've seen from him this year? And, if he keeps this up, I guess, where can he take this group with the way that he's been playing so far?
He gave him a chance. I think Toronto is a better team, and Preds probably should have been blown out. It should have been, 4 or 5 to nothing, and Juice kept him in it. That's what you want from a goalie. You want a chance to win every night, and Juice is going to give you that, and then some. He's just been fantastic. The save he had on Matthews, there's no way. That's Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews are the two of the best scorers in the game. And he lined them up on a 2-on-1 and took the one-timer and with a huge glove save. You're not supposed to make those saves. And so when he's giving you a chance every night to win and doing it that way, the sky's the limit for where he can take you.
We've asked you about the young guys, throughout the season, Hal. I did think in that game – maybe it's a little different if Philip Tomasino can cash in on a couple really nice opportunities. Wasn't able to do it, but he's getting those opportunities. He looks fast, maybe like he's gaining his footing and growing in confidence. What are you seeing from him right now?
Yeah, I'll agree with you 100%. And it is, if he gets that one that goes off the post, a beautiful pass by Johansson, by the way, who I think has played really well with Tomasino. As well as Tanner Jeannot. I like that line, and if he gets that goal, I think you get an energy boost from the team, and it's a fine line between winning and losing. I think that was early in the game, and I think that changes everything. And I think the team gets a little more jump in their step, and it changes. So if you can get a guy like Tomasino to put those in, it means everything. So but that goes up and down the lineup. He had the breakaway, and he just kind of lost the handle on it, and that's another chance for him to change the game. And so we're right there, and the fact that he's getting those chances, like you said, is everything. But if you can start putting them in, then that's when you see the whole team come around, and that's the difference maker that Tomasino could be.
Preds radio analyst Hal Gill on the line with us, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. And how I saw you and C-Mace breaking this down the other night, but for those who didn't get a chance to see it, what do you like about the power play that the Predators are working with right now? What do you think has been the difference of why they've been pretty effective so far this season on the power play?
Yeah, just the movement. And it's funny, talking to John Hines, he gives a lot of credit to Lambert just going through, when you're coaching a power play, sometimes you say, all right, you guys are the best players. Go be creative. But you have to give them some sort of structure to go off of. And then you also want them to be fluid in the structure that you're giving them. And so now I think what you're seeing is a lot of movement, a lot of exchanges. You see sometimes Roman Josi will be in the middle of the ice in the bumper position. Other times he's back ripping one-timers. I love the fact that there's no set position. And, yeah, we all want to see Tolvanen come in and rip a shot off the half wall. We want to see Gronlund inside tight and down low working Johansson in the bumper position and Duchesne on the half wall. But when they change and kind of change the narrative as a defensive player, as a penalty killer, I'm looking at it going, I don't know what to do right now. This is they changed it up, and I'm not sure who to cover. And so that becomes unpredictable, and that movement is getting them chances, and then they have guys that are finishing right now.
Is that sort of the rule in your mind? How sort of you have to find the balance between structure and freedom, and it's not easy?
Yeah, it isn't easy because it's like, how do you do a power play? Okay, you go stand there, and we'll pass it around and shoot. That's the average fan says that's what you do, and then you get a penalty kill that stops it. Well, how do you change it? You got to change the narrative. You got to do something different, and so that's where. But it is a balance, and I think they've found that right now. It looks good every time, even when they don't score. It's looking good, which is fun to watch after a couple of years where it really hasn't been fun.
Hal, last thing for you here. Obviously, we all love Pete Weber and wish him the best in getting back and feeling better, but. You had a little play-by-play the other night against Arizona. Even got a goal call in there. I got to tell you, it was pretty good.
Not bad.
You've been practicing?
No. I never want that again. I miss my boy, and I need him to come back. He's it's not the same without him. It was it was cool. Rick Peckham jumped in, and he just went in the Hall of Fame, and then he's jumping on the radio with me. It was pretty cool, but just an absolute pro, just nailed it. It was kind of awesome that, I've been with Pete Weber, just the best of all time for so long, and then I got this other guy who's a Hall of Famer jumping in with me. So it was fun, but I'm going to leave the goal calls to the pros. Let those guys handle it.
Preds radio analyst Hal Gill has been our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. Joins us every Thursday at 9:30. Skillsy, appreciate you, brother. Have fun in Montreal.
All right, I'll try to behave myself. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll chat with you a little bit later. Hal Gill. Legendary, ladies and gentlemen.
No need to chuck bags if you're not like multiple days in this, right? You can
camp out, man.
You can just like carefully place the bag in the room.
Yeah.
Fix your hair, put on a new
put a
shirt,
coat on,
and then
going outside.
12 straight hours at the bar, if you want.
It's an option.
Yeah, it's there for you.
By the way, the Nashville Predators, number 5 in the league right now on the power play, 26.2%. Number 5. Now, Edmonton's still at an outrageous number, 42.6.
My God.
St. Louis is at 30, Dallas at 28.6, Anaheim 27.8. But Predators, 26.2%, number 5 in the league on the power play. What do you think of that, Joe Rexrode?
It's a long way from Vingan being able to use those Simpsons gifts. What does he do? Is he okay? We forgot to ask him yesterday. That's got to be serious withdrawal for him. Because it's top 10, right? Top 10, and you can't touch it.
Right now, it's, their top 10 status, not in much danger at the moment, unless they hit a big slump.
Wow. Who
Power play's looking
would have
good.
thunk it? It is amazing. And to my untrained eye, I think I like how Hal described it there, but they move. I mean, you think back to a couple years ago when it just felt like exactly what he just said. You go here, ding, ding, ding. Subban rips one from the point.
It's totally stagnant.
Yeah, and now it is fun to watch.
We'll come back. We'll react to Hal Gill. Take more of your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025, The Game.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. A couple scattered showers will continue for us for the rest of the morning. Most of this clears by the early afternoon. Colder today, highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
It's the hits, the cheers, the goals. Head to Bridgestone Arena on November 22nd and 24th to watch your Nashville Predators take on Pacific Division rivals, the Anaheim Ducks and Vegas Golden Knights. Single game tickets are available at all price levels. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets. There's nothing better than hockey at home in Smashville. NashvillePredators.com/tickets. Get your tickets, grab your gold, and we'll see you inside Bridgestone Arena. Let's go, Preds!
Your home value is way up. Why not use it to make your home even nicer with a new kitchen or bathroom? Hey, Willie here. So many of our listeners are doing this with Loan Pronto, thanks to their zero-cost cash-out refi program. Call Loan Pronto now. They're fast-tracking home refis for the year-end, and people are getting checks for $60, $70, $100,000 or more. It's fast and easy. It's your money, money you can use to add even more value to your home. Imagine 2022 with that all-new luxurious kitchen you've been dreaming about. Or start building that pool so it's going to be ready for the summer. Call Loan Pronto now. See how easy it is to use the equity in your home and walk away with the big check. They can even pay your closing costs, and you can skip your next 2 house payments. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Well, don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Willie Donick here. It's time to call the folks at QC Kinetics. Non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Don't let them give you the steroids. Don't let them tell you your surgery is the only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics and do it now. And imagine life in 2022 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024 for QC Kinetics.
This is Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers. We understand that no one likes to deal with auto body repair and the inconvenience it becomes in your day-to-day life. I want to personally invite you to stop by and let our experienced staff see how we can help you make your vehicle look good as new. Apple Collision Center has 3 convenient locations, Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. Come by and see us or visit us online at applecollisioncenters.com.
Jared Stillman.
I cannot believe they picked this guy I've never heard of.
And company.
You're forced to play cap gymnastics, which makes it a little bit more difficult for picking up other guys.
Tune in Stillman and Company for your drive home. Delivered by TriStar Moving. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
You're listening to Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 1025 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube today and every day. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. Robby and Rexrode brought to you by Volunteer State Bank. Real people, real solutions right here. Remember FDIC, equal housing lender. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode Michelle Knezovic here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Thanks to Hal Gill for joining us in the last segment. Interested to see how the Predators respond coming up on Saturday. We'll have more on that tomorrow when Terry Crisp joins us on the show at 8:30. Joe Rexrode, you look befuddled over there.
I'm going to go to the text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. First of all, and you got to please put your names on these so I can give you credit. But this is from like the opening of the show at 6:07 a.m. Oh my goodness, I'm dying this morning. I'll never hear his opening theme song, the same LMAO. This is Jared's, Jared Stillman and Company's softcore porn theme song that needs to change immediately. But also has later now has an idea here for the Titans Olympian Onslaught. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
A lot of it's alliteration is, and I get it. Alliteration is the guiding factor for a lot of people on these, but it doesn't have to be that.
We're going back into like mythology, Titans,
I
Olympics
guess. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That's probably what we're talking there.
Probably not.
I don't. Yeah,
It probably is.
I don't hate the 300. I'm warming to it.
Hey, some of the other ones that have floated in, I'm warming to it as well.
It's all relative.
The Titans defense, the Steel Stanleys on there.
Ooh.
What do you think of that?
Sure.
You like that, Rob?
And
I don't know.
This person has sent that multiple times.
The
Steel Stanleys.
Ryan in Nashville texting in. The last time the Preds power play was this good, the power play coach was Hall of Famer Phil Housley. Shows what happens when you use a coach for a power play that isn't from a league below the AHL. This is coming from Ryan in Nashville. Well, Dan Lambert actually came from junior hockey. So,
other than that,
it is below
good
the
point.
AHL.
When's the last time, and I know that it's right at this moment, and it could very much change, but when's the last time the Preds had a top 5 power play?
I'd have to look. I mean, they might have had one with Housley in there. I can't remember.
That would surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go look.
Good. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, they probably had one with Paul Correa for sure. Power play is pretty good.
Yeah.
Correa, Sullivan.
The crazy thing is, if you would have told me that right now, then I would have assumed like Tolvanen has like 6 power play goals right now. You know what I mean?
He has 0.
Yeah. He has one
total
overall on like the first play of the season.
Yes.
So I was wrong on my pick to click. But then again, we were all wrong on the night that the Preds get shut out.
That is true. That is true.
At some point, he's gonna score again, right?
We think so. I was asked my concern level on him yesterday from Darren Donick and Chase to rank it 1 to 10. I went 8. Like I'm pretty concerned about Tolvanen. I know right now he's playing on a line with Tommy Novak and Michael McCarron, so like I don't really know what's supposed to happen there offensively. But to your point, the power play didn't do much when he's been on it. I mean, he's been invisible out there way too much. I thought he played well against Arizona. I thought everybody played pretty well against Arizona, but Tolvanen gets a couple assists, was noticeable in what he was doing, but there's another level he's going to have to get to.
And that's so you're getting nothing from him, and you don't have Philip Forsberg.
Yeah.
And you're still doing well, although last time out, you were shut out, so you're going to need 28 to give you something.
What do you think of the matchup tonight on Thursday Night Football, the Patriots and the Falcons? Cordero Patterson, been a big part of that offense this year for Atlanta, who apparently is just all of a sudden turned into a running back for the Falcons. He is questionable for the game tonight. There's mute number 2 for Rexrode here on the program.
And this is a good
one to begin the segment, or begin the show, one to end the show.
Yeah, you're right. First segment and last.
Yeah.
And it coincides with talking about the weird sex song that is Jared Stillman's theme song. Is that a coincidence?
Causation?
Maybe.
So.
Maybe.
Gets Joe all frazzled.
Yes. Can Arthur Smith pull off the upset tonight and take down the New England Patriots, who have been playing some very, very good football as of late? Game is in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta, and you know how it is. I mean, just like last week, now the Ravens are going to get well at the expense of the Dolphins, and they didn't at all. I actually think this game can be better than a lot of people probably do. But Patterson, that status is very important. They don't have a lot of playmakers. What an interesting player he is. Really, he is such a physical running back and also still a receiver who can make big plays.
Well, when he played at Tennessee, I remember watching him and being like, this dude's an absolute freak. Like, he could stop and start on a dime. And, of course, you had him. You had Justin Hunter out there. Tyler Bray, who apparently was an NFL quarterback for a long time. Like, it's kind of amazing how good that offense was and how they did nothing under Derek Dooley. Just nothing.
Oh, there's way too much of the – wow, that guy's good in the NFL now.
Yeah.
Who knew at Tennessee that he could be good in the NFL?
Yeah. Patriots favored by 6.5 on this game on the FanDuel Sportsbook. The over-under at 47. So that Patriots defense. The Thursday night football games, it's hard for me to take the over. A lot of slop fest on Thursday night football.
Agree.
I would expect another one tonight.
Yeah, I would agree. Big one for Arthur Smith. Had a really big win in New Orleans. And then they went to Dallas.
Yeah.
Did not go well.
36-3 at the half last week for the Falcons against the Cowboys. At the half, 36-3. I'm sure Dean Pease has had a fun week. I've not seen any Dean Pease press conferences so far this week, but there have been some doozies out there.
Man, that one. I got to know who that was.
He was all over him.
And
I don't remember.
He's like, what have you done in coach? He's like, well, I was actually coach of the year in whatever county. He's like, well, that's great. And then Dean P starts asking about coverages. I'm like, wow.
Oh, man. Matthew texting into the text line. Would it be crazy? How crazy would it be if the Patriots win 28-3 tonight? Just stick it to Atlanta one more time.
Or if Atlanta blows a 28-3 lead.
Yeah.
That's one of those where on that story, which is a good idea, like there's just no question, right? I mean that's a gimme. What is the Bears? I just want to know what the Bears is so I can enjoy thinking about it.
I don't know.
Oh, I guess Super Bowl against the Colts. Okay. I mean, dude, you got to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
I was about to say. Is that really it? I don't think so.
I forgot that Devin Hester had returned the opening kick for a TD, and they lost that game.
In the rain.
That was the only way. Yeah. Well,
it's got to be a double doink, right? Come on.
Double doink is a very strong contender. We've had some texts on the text line on double doink. Double doink's very good because that was a very good season for them. They were not supposed to lose that game.
And they did.
Sorry, Corey.
I'm not. Not sorry at all.
We share a disdain for the Bears.
Yeah. We do. I don't know. I only know a couple people that like the Bears, and they're both good people. So,
I mean,
including Corey Curtis.
When the Bears, like when the Bears. Now, last year's, I guess, not a good example, but they've got people here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, they drank Broadway dry one time, totally out of beer.
All right.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
And usually, I would expect the Buffalo fans to do that.
Yeah. That does it for us today here on Robby and Rexrode. We'll be back at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Darren Donick and Chase up next. This is ESPN 102.5 The Game.
The voice of reason.
If I'm the official, I would send both teams to the locker room and say, this is going to stop.
The voice of the fan.
Our entire team's a mass unit.